The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Hello again, dear adventurers of the multiverse. Thanks for joining us once more on this epic journey. Remember, this story is pure science fiction from our wild imagination. So don't go trying to summon dragons in your backyard. The rights of this amazing novel belong entirely to its original author. We are only the narrators. Do you want more adventures? Show some love to our YouTube channel with a subscription and a like. And if you want exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting for you with open arms. Chapter 151 City Lord's Daughter, Mu Qingsu. The large, fat woman was quite surprised and hurriedly asked Hong Tao to arrange a pair of Grandmaster-level contractors. Hong Tao took out his communicator and sent out several commands. The large, fat woman, as if remembering something, called out to him, "Wait! The Holy Spirit's secret realm can only be entered once a year. We need to maximize our profits." Hong Tao asked, "Why?" The large, fat woman plopped down on a stool, which creaked as if it couldn't bear the weight. "Why not arrange for a high combat power, not so stubborn, peak Grandmaster level assassin? Give him some breakthrough potions and berserk potions, and let him forcefully break through to the venerable realm after entering the secret realm, maximizing his harvest of magical beasts and obtaining life and destruction matter." Hong Tao's eyes lit up, and he clapped his hands, saying, "Okay, we'll do it your way." Forced breakthroughs would severely damage one's foundation, and berserk potions would drain one's life force. Both were potions with extremely severe side effects and wouldn't be used under normal circumstances. But at this crucial moment, Hong Tao felt this method was excellent. He took out his communicator, issued an order, and quickly located the assassin. The Beast Tamer Academy of Shanghai, Kunpeng Academy. Outside the No. 3 Lakeside Villa District. On his way home, Xiao Ye sensed something was wrong with his aura. His power of intent had solidified, and a series of profound insights surged into his mind. He released his power of intent, forming a force that transformed into a domain. Within the domain. Not good. He's about to break through to the venerable realm. Xiao Ye's expression changed, and he rushed towards Villa No. 10. Under the astonished gaze of Liu Yao, who was eating ghost peppers, he hurried to the underground cultivation room. What's he doing? Why is he in such a hurry? In the underground cultivation room, Xiao Ye stopped the 5-claw golden dragon's cultivation. Phew. Xiao Ye breathed a sigh of relief. That was close. Breaking through to the venerable realm would disqualify him from entering the Grandmaster realm of the secret realm. The 5-claw golden dragon flashed white light and reverted to its human form. A plump young woman, Xie Ye, appeared on the ground, looking at Xiao Ye with a resentful expression. Her slender white fingers were cracking as she clenched them. Her breakthrough had been abruptly interrupted, and if Xiao Ye didn't provide a reasonable explanation, she wanted to punch him. Listen to me. Xiao Ye explained the reason to her, mentioning the Holy Spirit's secret realm. The template upgrade materials for the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox can be obtained in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. The three-tailed white fox, who had also stopped cultivating nearby, excitedly jumped into Xiao Ye's arms. "Xie Ye, if you want to hit someone, hit me instead, he. White foxes can upgrade their templates too, I'm so happy." Xie Ye was a reasonable person. After understanding the reason, her anger immediately subsided. She walked over and pinched the 3 tails of the holy white fox, laughing, "I won't hit you. If you get beaten black and blue, Xiao Ye will be heartbroken. Xiao Ye, shall we set off now?" Xie Ye forcefully suppressed the bursting power of her inner intent, afraid that she might accidentally advance to the venerable realm. Xiao Ye smiled, "The secret realm opens at 2 p.m. We'll go to the dean's place at noon." Xie Ye became anxious. She was afraid she wouldn't be able to hold back. Thump thump thump. Several footsteps sounded, and Liu Ye emerged from the stairwell, saying, "The Holy Spirit's secret realm is a dimensional space, attached to the main space, Blue Star. There are 2 Overlord-level races inside, Life Attribute Magical Beasts and Destruction Attribute Magical Beasts. Life Attribute Magical Beasts are few in number, but each one is powerful, very united, and long-lived. Destruction Attribute Magical Beasts are numerous, ranging in power from low to high, almost like a disorganized mob, and most have a lifespan of no more than 50. Besides their crystal cores, these 2 types of magical beasts contain life crystals and destruction crystals, which can be extracted from life and destruction matter, making them extremely precious. Having never entered the Holy Spirit's secret realm, Liu Ye's understanding was limited, but she suggested that Nangguang Xiao break through to the venerable realm after entering the secret realm. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yunzai appeared in the living room on the first floor of Villa number 10. 2 people can go. Xiao Ye, who do you want to go with? Xiao Ye pointed to Nangguang Xiao. Young Xie sensed it and was shocked. Peak Grandmaster? Such a fast cultivation speed. She remembered that yesterday, after the 5-clawed golden dragon mutated, its realm returned to the first level. And now, in just one day, it has broken through to the peak of the Grandmaster realm? This speed is beyond even her reach. Not only her, but no supreme being in the world is as talented as Xiao Ye. Even the saint realm above the supreme being is not this terrifying, right? Is this the reincarnation of an ancient emperor? After taking a deep look at Xiao Ye, Yangxi put away her thoughts, waved her hand to cover the aura of the 2 of them, and then a flash of white light appeared. Xiao Ye, Nangguang Xiao, and she disappeared from the spot. Shanghai-based city, City Lord's Mansion. City Lord's Hall. More than a dozen grandmasters were already waiting here. Cheng Yi and his contractor, Yang Zhenming and his contractor, the City Lord's daughter and a handsome young man, the young master of the Yun family and his contractor, the Hong family assassin and his contractor. The eyes of the men present were intentionally or unintentionally focused on the City Lord's daughter, Mu Qingsu. Her skin was as white as snow, her figure proud and tall, a typical stunning woman with long, straight black hair. At only 20 years old, she had already reached the 10th star Grandmaster realm, hailed as the #1 prodigy in the Demon City, her talent unmatched. Even more unique was her extremely arrogant personality. Since awakening her template, she disdained forming contracts with any woman, cultivating to the peak of the Grandmaster realm in human form, remaining in an uncontracted template state to this day. A smug glint flashed across the handsome young man's face as he approached Mu Qingsu, saying, "Zuier, I will protect you on this trip to the secret realm. You can harvest life and destruction matter as you please." Mu Qingsu glanced at him, disdainfully saying, "Protect you? You? You can't even beat me. Also, please call me Mu Qingsu." Rejected without a second thought, the handsome young man, Ji Gangte, smiled obsequiously. "Okay, Zuier." Mu Qingsu ignored him. Ji Gangte chuckled, unconcerned. Instead glancing around with a boastful gaze. Cheng Yi, Yang Zhenming, and the young master of the Yun family. They exchanged glances, all seeing the shock in each other's eyes. Shanghai's #1 simp, Ji Gangte, is truly shameless. This is a simp? This is brain dead. Tisk tisk, simps end up with nothing. Stay away from simps. At that moment, Yunzai appeared in the center of the hall with Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao, and the scene immediately fell silent. The city lord of Shanghai-based city, a tall, imposing man with a square face, Mu Cheng, stood up from his chair and smiled. "Kunpeng Supreme, you've arrived." Yunzai nodded, her voice calm. "Is everyone here?" "City Lord Mu Cheng, everyone's here, just waiting for you to open the entrance to the secret realm." As he spoke, he sensed Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao, his brow furrowing. He thought to himself, their auras are concealed? Even I can't sense their specific cultivation levels, but their physical age seems to be only just adulthood. Hiss. City Lord Mu Cheng was shocked. An 18-year-old Grandmaster realm expert was terrifying. Even if he had just entered the Grandmaster realm, his talent was astonishing and even more terrifying than his daughter Mu Qingsu, the #1 prodigy in the demon capital. Chapter 152 Destruction Type Rule Fragment Crystallization. With a flash, Mu Cheng appeared in front of Xiao Ye, smiling. "Kunpeng Supreme, what are your names?" "Xiao Ye, a student of my Kunpeng Academy, and Nangguang Xiao," Yunzai replied. Mu Cheng patted Xiao Ye's shoulder, praising, "A young talent indeed, so young and already." Suddenly, he gasped. He had probed Xiao Ye's true cultivation level upon contact. Peak Grandmaster. Mu Cheng was shocked. An 18-year-old at the peak of the Grandmaster realm, his understanding had been completely overturned. With a muffled boom, Xiao Ye's body detected the external force probing him. His advanced, higher-level body automatically rebounded, repelling Mu Cheng's probing power. Mu Cheng was forced back a step, laughing. "Qingsu, you have an opponent now." The long-haired, black-haired Mu Qingsu, lost in thought, shrugged, unconcerned, not taking Xiao Ye seriously at all, thinking to herself, just a little brat. Cheng Ye and Yang Junming, however, strongly agreed with Mu Cheng's words, both giving him a smile. The young master of the Yun family and the Hong family's assassin stood unmoved to the side. The time has come, the Holy Spirit's secret realm is officially open. Yun Zai waved her hand, and a spatial rift opened beside her, its depths pitch black, seemingly endless. She gave each person a teleportation item. If you encounter danger, crush the teleportation item, and you'll instantly return here. After returning, you will be unable to re-enter the secret realm. If you don't crush the teleportation item, it will automatically activate after 24 hours, teleporting you out. City Lord Mu Cheng reminded them, don't try to exploit loopholes to discard the teleportation items if you don't want to survive alone in the vast Holy Spirit's secret realm for a year. Cheng Ye, Yang Junming, the young master of the Yun family, and the others all expressed their understanding. At Yun Zai's signal, everyone entered the spatial rift in pairs. The sycophantic Ji Gangte walked ahead very gentlemanly, grinning obsequiously. Zuier, follow me, I'll scout the way for you. With that, he stepped into the spatial rift. Mu Kingsu pouted and followed, entering the rift behind. Only Cheng Ye, Xiao Ye, and 2 others remained. Cheng Ye raised an eyebrow, saying righteously, Uncle Xiao, don't be nervous. I'll protect you once we enter the secret realm. Aunt Yangxi, Uncle Xiao's safety is in my hands. With me here, not a hair on his head will be missing. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Cheng Ye, you'd better protect yourself. With that, Xiao Ye pulled Nangong Xiao and stepped into the spatial rift. Hey! Uncle Xiao is so shameless. Cheng Ye chuckled slyly, following behind the contractors into the spatial rift. With a hum, the spatial rift closed and disappeared. Only Mu Cheng and Yangxi, the 2 Supremas, remained. Mu Cheng smiled and said, Kunpeng Supreme, your academy has truly produced a pair of promising talents. He had the idea of recruiting them. Yangxi glanced at him coldly and said indifferently, don't try to take advantage of my student. He has his own path to walk. After saying that, Yangxi's figure disappeared. Mu Cheng's face darkened. Only these cold-blooded women like Yangxi dared to speak to him like that. On the other side. Dimensional space, Holy Spirit's secret realm. This place is vast, encompassing mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, and seas, its area comparable to half of the Dragon Kingdom. The Dragon Kingdom is the country where Xiao Ye resides. In a mountain range on the edge, a flash of white light appeared, and Xiao Ye and Nangong Xiao appeared. What came into Xiao Ye's view was a patch of lush green grass and towering ancient trees, each bearing brightly colored fruit. Huh? What's this, all sticky? Suddenly, streams of slimy liquid flowed down from the sky, dripping onto Nangong Xiao and Xiao Ye's combat suits. It stinks. Nangong Xiao touched a bit, looking disgusted. Xiao Ye looked up and was immediately startled. Behind him stood a black dinosaur over 10 meters tall, and the dripping slime was saliva flowing from the dinosaur's gaping maw above his head. The giant black dinosaur stared hungrily at the 2 of them, its massive jaws agape as it lunged at them with its sharp teeth. Damn it! Xiao Ye yelled, jerking away with Nangong Xiao in his arms, narrowly avoiding the attack. After assessing the situation, Nangong Xiao, covered in slime, was furious, her beautiful eyes blazing with anger. You bastard, you're so annoying, she roared. Xiao Ye, let me handle it. With that, Nangong Xiao launched herself forward like a cannonball, her body shooting towards the black dinosaur. Roar! The giant dinosaur's tail, over 10 meters tall, lashed out. Seeing that Nangong Xiao was about to be struck by the thick-skinned, powerful tail, she didn't change direction, instead, she kicked out. A deafening boom echoed. The black dinosaur was kicked over 100 meters away, its body flying backward and crashing into more than 10 giant trees before sliding across the ground, creating a long ditch. Finally, it lay limp in the ditch like a dead dog. The black dinosaur, a Grandmaster level 10th star magical beast, was killed by Nangong Xiao, a great Grandmaster level 10th star. Nangong Xiao landed lightly on the ground, a look of disappointment on her face. The dinosaur was clearly dead, and Xiao Ye asked her what was wrong. Nangong Xiao lifted her small foot, her right shoe had exploded in the battle, leaving her delicate white foot exposed. My cultivation level increased too quickly, my shoes didn't have time to be upgraded. They couldn't withstand the power of a great Grandmaster, and they were gone. Xiao was filled with disappointment. She didn't want to venture barefoot into the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he retrieved a pair of shoes from his system space, tossing them to her. At the same time, he activated the template adjuster's extraction function, extracting rule fragments. Grandmaster level destruction attribute magical beast successfully extracted a destruction type rule fragment crystal. After the supreme extraction power descended, the recently deceased black giant dinosaur convulsed, its body emanating an aura of decay and ruin. As the aura intensified, its entire body finally turned to dust and dissipated into the air. Within the system space, a unique rule fragment crystal appeared. It emanated a chilling aura of destruction. Having just arrived at the Holy Spirit's secret realm and already obtained a destruction-type rule fragment crystal, Xiao Ye was overjoyed. A lucky start. So, Xiao Ye, pulling Xiao, who hadn't even had time to change into a new pair of shoes, excitedly began running to find magical beasts. Xiao looked at the two shoes of different colors and types on her feet, her little face lost in thought. Boom. 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 Before Xiao Ye and Xiao had even run 10 meters. Suddenly the earth shook violently, and huge footsteps echoed from all directions. Dinosaurs, all dinosaurs. Completely black, with bulging muscles, short forelimbs, and thick hind limbs. This is a herbivorous dinosaur, the tree dragon. Seeing the numerous tree dragons surrounding him, Xiao Ye wasn't afraid. Instead, his eyes gleamed, and he rubbed his hands together excitedly, saying, "Crystals, all crystals." Chapter 153 Destroying Matter, Terrifying Destructive Power. In just a few seconds, more than 10 giant tree dragons arrived, roaring angrily before attacking the two. Each leaped high into the air, crashing down with tremendous force like a mountain crashing down. Xiao Ye and Xiao exchanged a glance and instinctively dodged to the side. Boom! The tree dragon slammed to the ground, kicking up clouds of dust and obscuring their vision. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Xiao Ye and Xiao attacked the tree dragons one by one. With a punch and a kick, they felled a tree dragon. Despite their large size, these tree dragons only possessed the aura of a Grandmaster level 4 to 8, making them easy prey for the two Grandmaster level 10 cultivators. Bang! 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 In just 2 or 3 seconds, the two could severely injure a Grandmaster level tree dragon, rendering it incapacitated. 2 minutes later, all 10+ Grandmaster level tree dragons that had attacked were annihilated. With a soft thud, Xiao Ye and Xiao landed lightly on the ground, clapped their hands, and laughed. Done. These were all destructive attribute magical beasts, but Xiao Ye didn't sense anything special about their attack methods. They were more like reckless brutes who preferred close combat, attacking anyone they saw. Xiao checked her shoes, they were intact. She took out a sharp knife from her backpack and plunged it into the heart of the tree dragon at her feet. With a ripping sound, the skin tore open, and blood gushed out. A mid-grade Grandmaster crystal core was extracted by the knife. Xiao didn't stop. She continued to open the tree dragon's skull, reaching inside and fiddling around before pulling out a black substance covered in a skin that emitted a chilling aura. This was destructive matter. Seeing it for the first time, Xiao curiously tore off the skin, and the black destructive matter immediately dissipated into the air. Then, an astonishing scene appeared. A wisp of destructive matter touched the massive ancient tree, causing it to wither rapidly as if lifeless. In the blink of an eye, it collapsed, turning into rotting, shriveled logs lying on the ground. A wisp of destructive matter drifted into the lush green grass, and seconds later, the vibrant, verdant grass turned into withered, rotten blades of grass. A wisp of destructive matter landed on Xiao's white, tight-fitting combat suit. The suit exploded with a series of cracking sounds, turning into dust that scattered into the air. Without her combat suit, Xiao was exposed, her white skin and curvaceous figure completely exposed. She was stunned. Xiao Ye swiftly gathered the black destructive matter in the air and sealed it with his skin, then breathed a sigh of relief and asked, "Xiao, are you alright?" Xiao wasn't an exhibitionist. She let out a cry, her pretty face flushed, and jumped into a thick patch of grass. Xiao Ye activated the template adjuster's extraction function, successfully extracted 6 destruction-type rule fragment crystals from the Grandmaster level destruction-type magical beast, Successfully extracted 8 creation-type rule fragment crystals from the Grandmaster-level destruction-type magical beast. The vast and supreme extraction power descended, and each heavily wounded and fallen tree dragon ultimately turned into dust, scattering into the air, leaving no trace of its remains. What puzzled Xiao Ye was that the template's extraction power did not descend upon the Grandmaster level 4-star tree dragon from which its crystal core and destructive matter had been extracted. Only magical beasts with complete bodies that are on the verge of death or have recently died can have rule fragment crystals extracted. The template adjuster cleared up the mystery. Xiao Ye understood, and stored the tree dragon's body on the ground into his system space. With the thought of not wasting anything, using this tree dragon as food wouldn't be bad. Ah! Xiao Ye, help! Nangguangxiao's cry of alarm came from the dense grass. Xiao Ye frowned, pushed off with both feet, and shot forward like a cannonball, flying into the grass. A bug. Nangguangxiao's face paled in alarm. A tiny bug was crawling rapidly across her fair, delicate body. She frantically slapped at it with both hands, but couldn't hit it. Put that bug down, let me handle it. Xiao Ye said in a deep voice, immediately taking action. Smack. Xiao Ye delivered a powerful slap to the drum, leaving a bright red handprint. Xiao Ye, you hurt me. Nangguangxiao glared at him. Xiao Ye scratched his head awkwardly, saying, sorry, I missed. He then focused intently on the bug's crawling trajectory, his gaze sharpening before delivering another powerful slap to the drum. This time, 2 bright red handprints appeared on either side. But the bug hadn't been hit. Nangguangxiao pouted, dissatisfied. Xiao Ye, are you doing this on purpose? Then, the insect continued to crawl on the plump young woman's breasts. Just as Xiao Ye was about to strike, deciding to use his full strength for a fatal blow, Nangguangxiao urgently said, stop. Are you trying to smash me to pieces with that much force? Be gentle. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he reluctantly withdrew his hand. Then, with a boom, a powerful aura erupted from Xiao Ye's body, crushing towards the little insect. The supreme aura was arrogant and domineering, intimidating all heretics. In less than half a second, the little insect trembled and fell to the ground, where it was stomped to death by Nangguangxiao. Alright, even a 10th star Grandmaster is afraid of a little insect, really. Xiao Ye was speechless. She could easily shatter the little insect by simply releasing her own energy. Nangguangxiao's face twitched with grievance. I was scared. In my panic, I forgot how to deal with it. Xiao Ye's face darkened. She could kick a giant dinosaur to death with one kick, yet she couldn't handle a tiny insect. She took out a new combat suit from her system space and tossed it to Nangguangxiao, staring intently at her as she put it on. After dressing, Nangguangxiao rubbed her perky breasts and glared at Xiao Ye with her beautiful eyes. This guy, why did he use so much force? It hurts so much? Then the two of them left the bushes. Xiao Ye took out the destructive substance wrapped in the tree dragon skin and exclaimed in amazement, this thing is practically the natural enemy of living things. It can destroy life and the structure of matter. Nangguangxiao stared at it with trepidation and said, Sister Liu Ya said that 1 gram of this stuff can sell for a low-grade Grandmaster Crystal Core, and 10 grams can sell for a low-grade Great Grandmaster Crystal Core. It's very valuable. Xiao Ye weighed it in her hand and felt that this was only half a gram. Half a gram could only fetch a pittance. Xiao Ye tossed the small package to Nangguangxiao, saying, here you go. Hurry up, our mission is very important. We need to kill 50 Grandmaster level destruction attribute dinosaurs and 50 Grandmaster level life attribute magical beasts. Nangguangxiao took the small package with a trembling expression and quickly put it into her small backpack, as if afraid she'd be entangled if she was even a little slow. After putting away the destructive material, she became energetic again, her face full of pride, and said, killing dinosaurs is my specialty. 1 kick and they're dead. Chapter 154 The True Dragon Appears. The Azure Dragon is shocked. Xiao Ye decided to have Nangguangxiao and Cheng Bingxi grind monsters in the Void God Tower more often to improve their combat experience. Otherwise, no matter how powerful their mythical level templates were, they wouldn't be able to fully utilize them, making them just inexperienced fledglings, unable to cope with the ever-changing battlefield environment. Improving templates was one thing, but combat experience was another. Suddenly, Nangguangxiao's beautiful eyes narrowed, and she excitedly pointed to the distant sky, saying, a 2-winged azure dragon is flying towards us. Leave this two-winged azure dragon to me. A blurry dot in the distant sky grew larger and larger until it became clear. It flapped its wings and quickly swept towards Xiao Ye's direction. Wait! Xiao Ye called out to her, this dragon looks familiar, it seems to be Cheng Yi's summoned beast. Nangguang Xiao tilted her head, is it that student council president? Before Xiao Ye could reply, the two-winged azure dragon arrived, bringing with it a fierce gale that rustled the ancient trees. Uncle Xiao! The two-winged azure dragon let out a hearty cry, sounding quite excited. How lucky! It really is you two. The 5-star Grandmaster level 2-winged azure dragon had heard the sounds of battle here not long ago and flew over. Xiao Ye greeted it, saying, didn't you see anyone else? The two-winged azure dragon replied, no. The Holy Spirit's secret realm is extremely vast. Including the sea area, this secret realm is half the size of the Dragon Kingdom. Meeting Uncle Xiao here is already a great stroke of luck. Half the Dragon Kingdom? Xiao Ye gasped. It was terrifyingly large. Each pair of contractors was randomly teleported upon entering. He and Cheng Yi were so close, he wondered if it was a Dean's special arrangement. The two-winged azure dragon couldn't sense Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao's specific cultivation levels, but it estimated that they were only at the initial Grandmaster level, given their youth. Then, the two-winged azure dragon flapped its wings and cackled, Uncle Xiao, Aunt Nangguang, don't worry, you'll make a fortune by following me on this trip to the secret realm. Nangguang Xiao looked at it suspiciously, you'd really be that kind? The two-winged azure dragon, how, Uncle Xiao, please praise me a bit when you get back to my dad, and ask him to beat me less often. Nangguang Xiao's face darkened, that's it? The two-winged azure dragon said with extreme confidence, of course. I'll take care of the magical beasts above the Grandmaster level, and you can take care of the Grandmaster level magical beasts, it's settled. Nangguang Xiao wanted to retort. But just then, an angry roar rose into the sky from not far away, and a black shockwave beam pierced through them. Everyone, get out of the way. This is a death ray containing destructive factors, the two-winged azure dragon shouted. Everyone dodged in time, but the death rays pierced through, striking the spot where Xiao Ye had just stood. A deafening roar echoed, and a bottomless crater was blasted into the ground. This destructive power reaches the 6th level of a Grandmaster. Xiao Ye analyzed. Boom, boom, boom. 4 or 5 more black shockwaves pierced the air. The twin-winged azure dragon was enraged, saying, Uncle Xiao, you all hide. I'll deal with these little reptiles. With a whoosh, it flapped its wings and flew through the gaps in the death rays. 1,000 meters away. 5 terrifying 6th-level Grandmaster dinosaurs were watching this scene, joining forces to attack the approaching twin-winged azure dragon. Several angry roars rang out. 5 black shockwaves condensed in the gaps in the blood-red maws of the 5 terrifying tree dragons, standing on the ground, piercing the air and shooting towards the twin-winged azure dragon flying overhead. Only the 5th-level Grandmaster twin-winged azure dragon remained calm. It had the advantage of flight and dared to fight 5 at once. A series of death rays imbued with destructive power were dodged by the agile azure dragon. It activated its skill, Hurricane Power, condenses hurricanes to attack enemies in various forms, area of effect attack. A fierce wind arose, bending the towering ancient trees on the ground. Great swords of wind. Sharp great swords formed from hurricanes materialized in the sky, surrounding the two-winged azure dragon. Go. Under its control, the great swords unleashed a barrage of arrows, a magnificent sight, shooting towards the giant dinosaurs on the ground. Thud thud thud. The Grandmaster-level tree dragons dodged left and right, but they couldn't withstand the wide attack range of the great swords of wind. In no time, 5 giant tree dragons were hit, their necks pierced, their bodies struck, and the sounds of flesh tearing echoed. After one round, the tree dragons were all severely injured, their bodies covered in blood. The two-winged azure dragon looked down proudly from the sky. Uncle Xiao, how about it, isn't it cool? It said smugly. Perhaps the commotion of the battle here was too great, attracting widespread attention. A massive Tyrannosaurus Rex, its muscles bulging and its body covered in bluish-gray armor, leaped up and swept towards the two-winged azure dragon. In the blink of an eye, it was above the azure dragon, its thick tail, imbued with immense power, slashing down. Even with a speed boost from the hurricane, the azure dragon couldn't dodge and could only watch helplessly as it was struck. Boom! A deafening roar echoed. The azure dragon plummeted like a kite with a broken string, its internal organs seemingly shattered, crashing into the ground and creating a deep crater. I should have known better than to show off. Uncle Xiao, run, came the Azure Dragon's weak voice from within the crater. A Grandmaster level 10-star giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Azure Dragon was utterly powerless against it. Defeated in a single move. Xiao Ye and Xie exchanged a glance, simultaneously activating the power of their contract. Mythical 5-clawed Supreme Golden Dragon template resonated. Roar. A clear yet majestic dragon roar echoed through the heavens and earth. At that moment, the sky darkened. A gigantic, long, narrow golden dragon appeared in the sky, obscuring the sunlight. The two-winged Azure Dragon, enduring its aching body, crawled out of the giant pit. Looking up, it was immediately shocked. Holy crap, what a huge dragon! This length, 1,500 meters? This aura, Grandmaster Realm 10-star, is that real? Reaching the peak of Grandmaster so quickly, it completely overturns my understanding. Even towering ancient trees seem tiny before it. Those golden vertical pupils were like giant dragon lanterns, radiating dazzling power. The two-winged Azure Dragon felt an urge to kneel and worship. Thump thump thump. The 50-meter-tall giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, stared at by the 5-clawed golden dragon's golden vertical pupils, instinctively felt fear rise in its body. It retreated several steps with a solemn expression. Dinosaurs, the predecessors of the lizard family, are considered lizards. While seemingly unrelated to dragons, their bloodlines are connected. The mythical 5-clawed Supreme Golden Dragon dominates all dragon-blooded magical beasts and all king-blooded magical beasts, thus it also has a certain suppressive effect on the bloodline of dinosaurs. The two-winged Azure Dragon, who originally wanted to crush the teleportation item, saw the giant Tyrannosaurus Rex retreating and blushed, complaining, "Uncle Xiao, I'll follow you from now on, so you have to take care of me." Chapter 155 The dragon swings its tail, Supreme Dragon Might. Not long ago, he had told Xiao Ye to follow him, promising to protect him and let the two of them easily harvest life and destruction matter. But in the blink of an eye, he discovered that Xiao Ye was already at the peak of the Grandmaster realm. He, Xiao Ye, hadn't played a leading role and needed Xiao Ye to save the day. This made him blush with embarrassment. The giant 5-clawed golden dragon stared at the 40 or 50-meter-tall giant Tyrannosaurus Rex with interest, saying, "Both are at the peak of the Grandmaster realm. I hope you won't disappoint me." The power of intent, so intense it was almost tangible, burst forth from the 5-clawed golden dragon's body, overwhelming and crushing the giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. A supreme attribute, extremely domineering and arrogant, intimidating everything. The giant Tyrannosaurus Rex's legs buckled under the pressure, fear showing in its eyes, and it retreated step by step. It chickened out. A look of shock flashed in the eyes of Xiao Ye summoned Beast, the twin-winged Azure Dragon. The golden dragon, with just its aura, had forced a Tyrannosaurus Rex of the same level to retreat without a fight. This 5-clawed golden dragon was simply too monstrous. HMPH. The twin-winged Azure Dragon snorted coldly, a mocking glint in its eyes, and shouted at the Tyrannosaurus Rex on the nearby hillside, "Where did your arrogance go? Not arrogant anymore? Not conceited anymore? Got scared? Hell, I still prefer your arrogant and cocky self." Xiao Ye was speechless. Xiao Ye was quite sarcastic. Roar. The giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, initially fearful of the overwhelming power of the approaching aura, was enraged by the disdainful tone of its defeated opponent, the twin-winged Azure Dragon. It leaped towards the edge of the pit, its jaws wide open, aiming for a fatal blow. "Keep being arrogant." The two-winged Azure Dragon, still spouting sarcastic remarks, suddenly fell silent, its face filled with fear. It cried out pitifully, "Uncle Xiao, help!" Thump, thump. The heavily injured two-winged Azure Dragon flapped its wings frantically, trying to dodge, but its injuries prevented it from even flying. "Brother Dinosaur, Grandpa Dinosaur, spare me. I was wrong." The two-winged Azure Dragon cried out for mercy. Xiao Ye. Xie chuckled, "I liked your arrogant demeanor just now." In the blink of an eye, the 5-clawed golden dragon moved. A flash of golden light streaked across the sky. With a powerful tail sweep, the 5-clawed golden dragon sent the leaping giant Tyrannosaurus Rex flying, crashing into the hillside. The ground cracked, and dirt flew everywhere. The giant Tyrannosaurus Rex was lifeless. The 5-clawed golden dragon, with its mythical level template, possessed astonishing physical strength, killing a Tyrannosaurus Rex of the same level with a single blow. Xiao Ye activated the extraction function during the template adjustment period. Grandmaster level destruction attribute magical beast, successfully extracted 2 destruction type rule fragment crystals. After the extraction power descended, the giant Tyrannosaurus Rex turned to dust, and 2 rule fragment crystals filled with destruction rules appeared in the system space. The 2-winged azure dragon stopped crushing the teleportation item, looking relieved, and said, "That was close, really close, we almost ended our journey in the secret realm." Then he said gratefully, "Uncle Xiao, thank you." Nangguang Xiao controlled the 5-claw golden dragon to the cracked hillside, took a closer look, and immediately said disappointedly, "Xiao Ye, that Tyrannosaurus Rex escaped from underground, what a pity, the destructive matter at the peak of the Grandmaster level is gone." Xiao Ye said in the 5-claw golden dragon's mind, "It didn't escape, I converted it into resources for upgrading the template." Destruction type rule fragment crystals are much higher in quality than destructive matter, they are not even on the same level. Destructive matter can be measured in crystal cores, which are essentially money, but crystallized rule fragments are priceless, even surpassing the value of a supreme magical beast's crystal core. Rule fragment crystals are condensations of laws, containing the power of those laws. Only high-level supreme beings can initially access them, and it takes over 100 years to condense just one from an unstable law space, with a risk of death if not handled carefully. This demonstrates the immense value of rule fragment crystals. Tiers 1 to 3 are low tier, tiers 4 to 6 are mid tier, tiers 6 to 9 are high tier, and tier 10 is top tier, the pinnacle. Nangguang Xiao suddenly understood why Xiao Ye had said he needed 50 life attribute magical beasts and 50 destruction attribute magical beasts. It was for resources to upgrade the template. The 2-winged azure dragon took out a healing potion from its backpack and drank it, healing itself. Xiao Ye, naturally, could wait for it, controlling the 5-claw golden dragon to fly deeper into the mountains. The terrain was higher, and the towering ancient trees had become noticeably thicker. Among the ancient trees ahead stood a colossal ancient tree, 100 meters in diameter. Above its canopy, countless black pterosaurs of the destructive attribute dwelled and lived. Roar. Suddenly, the king-level pterosaurs sensed something and looked up at the sky. A terrifying behemoth, a 5-claw golden dragon, was staring at them. Startled, the pterosaur horde took flight, a dense, dark mass, rushing towards the 5-claw golden dragon. They spewed black flames containing destructive matter from their mouths, distorting the air. A horde of Grandmaster-level magical beasts, Supreme Dragon Might, the ultimate version of the Holy Golden Dragon Might. After its power is unleashed, it weakens the enemy's attributes by 50%, transforming the user into a king-level beast overlord, commanding all king-level beast bloodlines. Roar. A clear yet majestic dragon roar resounded. A supreme, absolute dragon might, seemingly the will of heaven and earth, crushed forth. Squeak 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 squeak. The Wyvern King, a peak Grandmaster-level creature of the King Beast bloodline, was at the forefront of the attack. It seemed to be facing the entire world, yet its mental state nearly collapsed. Its aura plummeted, its King Beast bloodline froze, unable to be activated in the slightest, and it let out a terrified squeak. It crashed directly to the ground. The dense horde of magical beasts also suffered a significant drop in momentum. All the wyvern's attributes were reduced by half, barely maintaining flight, but their trembling bodies seemed poised to fall at any moment. The Supreme Dragon might had an absolute suppressive effect on the King Beast bloodline and a strong psychological and gravitational deterrent effect on ordinary magical beasts. Then, the 5-claw golden dragon opened its massive head, 5 elements control, metal, wood, water, fire, earth, fire element control. A massive golden flame erupted from the dragon's mouth, piercing a distance of over 1,000 meters, burning the dense horde of wyvern magical beasts. At this moment, the heavens and earth were illuminated by the golden flame, shining brilliantly. Squeak. 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 The pterosaur horde couldn't withstand the intense heat, therefore and chitinous scales were burned away, falling to the ground like raindrops with a series of squeaks. A vast extraction power descended. Grandmaster-level destruction attribute magical beast, successfully extracted 30 destruction type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster-level destruction attribute magical beast, successfully extracted 20 creation type rule fragment crystals. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156 The Wyvern King Submits, a supreme treasure of masculinity. After a long while, only a trembling pterosaur king with the bloodline of a king beast remained on the scene. Seeing the five-clawed golden dragon's gaze fall upon it, the pterosaur king trembled and made a gesture of submission. The fact that a horde of magical beasts recognizes a king beast bloodline as its ruler stems from an unconscious hierarchical order, and the pterosaur king was no exception. Encountering the five-clawed golden dragon, whose bloodline was far superior and whose cultivation level was overwhelming, the pterosaur king naturally felt the urge to follow and submit. "Lift your leg," the five-clawed golden dragon's mental wave commanded. The pterosaur king immediately made a comical gesture of lifting one leg and supporting itself on one foot. "I told you to lift both feet," the five-clawed golden dragon's mental wave commanded again. The pterosaur king couldn't understand why its newly recognized king wanted it to do this, but it still braced itself on its wings, raising both feet high, its skin bulging out. Xie Ye felt this scene was strangely familiar. Very obedient, huh? Xiao Ye controlled the five-clawed golden dragon, spewing out a golden flame that incinerated the Grandmaster-level winged dragon king. A vast extraction power descended. Grandmaster-level destruction attribute magical beast, successfully extracted one destruction-type rule fragment crystal. Xiao Ye counted the crystals and found he already had 38 destruction-type crystals. At this point, less than an hour had passed since entering the Holy Spirit's secret realm. The crystal collection speed was fast, but Xiao Ye wasn't satisfied. He had killed so many magical beasts, all of them destruction attribute, not a single life attribute magical beast. Remembering what Liu Ya had said, that destruction attribute magical beasts were numerous and widely distributed, while life attribute magical beasts were extremely rare and concentrated, his main task now was to find life attribute magical beasts. As for destruction attribute magical beasts, he could easily slaughter many. The five-clawed golden dragon soared through the sky, traversing the vast mountain range. 10 minutes later, it returned to its starting point, somewhat disappointed. Just sensing the aura, the mountain range was filled with destruction attribute magical beasts, not a single life attribute magical beast. After so much time, the two-winged azure dragon's injuries had mostly healed. It flapped its wings and flew to the five-clawed golden dragon, looking at the massive dragon's head and grinning. Uncle Xiao, I'm all better. Let's kill some monsters together." Xiao Ye was just about to ask about the situation. "Cheng Yi, life attribute magical beasts." The two-winged azure dragon shook its head and said, "I've been to the Holy Spirit's secret realm 3 times, and I've never seen a life attribute magical beast. They're rare and powerful. The Holy Spirit's secret realm is too vast, I don't know which mountain range or sea they inhabit." Xiao Ye frowned. This was bad news. They only had 1 day to train in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. The secret realm was half the size of the Dragon Kingdom, even the five-clawed golden dragon couldn't fly around it completely. If they searched blindly, they would probably waste the entire day. The two-winged azure dragon gritted its teeth and said, "Aunt Yangxi is very shrewd. She won't let us harvest resources at will. 1 day is the limit. Uncle Xiao, if you really need life substances, you can go to the Huang family's prodigy who is currently training. Every time he enters the Holy Spirit's secret realm, the Huang family's prodigy gains the most. He definitely knows the Holy Spirit's secret realm best." Xiao Ye nodded. "Then let's part ways here. See you outside the secret realm in 1 day." Roar. A dragon's roar resounded throughout the heavens and earth. Then, a huge golden dragon, shining brightly, soared into the sky and flew towards the center of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. It flew over huge mountain ranges. Groups of magical beasts in the mountains came into the five-clawed golden dragon's view, but none of them aroused its interest. They were all destructive attribute magical beasts and dinosaurs. After an hour of high-speed flight, a loud boom came from ahead. On the lake, a terrifying titan giant ape, hundreds of meters tall, was fighting fiercely with a black water dragon. It was the titan giant ape, the summoned beast of Yang Zhenming, the son of the Titan Supreme of the Titan Academy. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. He had encountered another adventurer, who might know some information about the location of life attribute magical beasts. Roar. The 5-clawed golden dragon accelerated, soaring rapidly through the air. On the vast red lake, a gigantic 100-meter-tall titan ape grabbed a water dragon with both hands, lifted it high, and then hurled it into the distance. With a thud, the water dragon crashed onto a hillside, spitting out a mouthful of black blood. Yang Junmin was delighted. Xiao Yun, according to the information from my family's last adventurer, this lake contains a powerful masculine treasure. Using it will make women blush and men regain their virility. You'll definitely love it. Hong Yun looked at him with disdain. I don't need that stuff. Yang Junmin shook his head. They had been bound by a contract for 4 years, and Hong Yun had barely let him touch her. Only recently, under the pretext of healing, had their relationship made a substantial breakthrough, but in the past few days, they had returned to their previous cold state. He suspected Hong Yun was indifferent, and this trip to the secret realm was to find something to cure her. And the powerful masculine treasure in this red lake was his target. Roar! A dense swarm of enormous black shadows emerged from the deep red lake, circling the titan ape on the surface and snapping at it with their sharp, slimy teeth. Ag! The titan ape screamed, hastily shaking off the giant water dragon that was biting its foot. It clenched its fists and slammed them into the lake surface, creating a deafening boom that sent waves dozens of meters high crashing up, instantly killing the 2 Grandmaster-level water dragons struck. At that moment, from the bottom of the deep lake, a colossal black shadow swam towards the surface, its target the gigantic titan ape. The titan ape, engrossed in its battle with the dense horde of water dragons, had overlooked the commotion beneath its feet. Roar! Just as the titan ape was growing weary, a gigantic water dragon, 300 meters long, leaped high from the lake surface, its terrifying maw, 150 meters in diameter, snapping at the titan ape. A 10-star Grandmaster-level water dragon seized a 1-star Grandmaster-level titan giant ape in one bite and dragged it into the deep lake. If nothing unexpected happened, the titan giant ape would be in grave danger. Just then, the 5-clawed golden dragon, which had just arrived above the lake, glared with its enormous golden vertical pupils. 5 elements control: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, water element control. As the name suggests, it possesses absolute control over all water elements in the world. A vast and magnificent spiritual wave burst forth from the dragon's eyes, spreading into the red lake. Instantly, an astonishing scene unfolded. The red lake water evaporated instantly, the water level dropping almost visibly. In less than 5 seconds, the lake's surface had fallen more than 200 meters. The red lake completely evaporated, revealing the water dragon king beast that had been at the bottom of the lake. The titan giant ape, still struggling, was overjoyed and exclaimed, "Brother Xiao, here." Just a few days ago it called him Xiao Ye, but today it's Brother Xiao. Blood extraction. The 5-clawed golden dragon controlled the blood and fluids within the water dragon king beast's body, forcefully extracting them and defeating it in one move. The more than 200 Grandmaster and Great Grandmaster level water dragon beasts were left sprawling in the air, still bewildered by the unfamiliar atmosphere. Earth element control. As the name suggests, it possesses absolute control over all earth elements in the world. Sharp earth spikes, the 5-clawed golden dragon uttered in a deep voice. A wave of spiritual energy spread out, and suddenly, sharp and hard spikes, hundreds of meters long, emerged from the cracked mud at the bottom of the lake, piercing the hearts of each of the more than 200 water dragon beasts. Chapter 157 Invaluable, dig it up by the root. The scene appeared grand, and indeed it was magnificent. Each barb possessed the attack power of a Grandmaster level 4-star warrior, enough to crush a Grandmaster level water dragon and a low-level Grandmaster level water dragon. The entire water dragon monster horde was annihilated, and a vast extraction power descended. Grandmaster level destruction attribute monster, successfully extracted 60 destruction type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level destruction attribute monster, successfully extracted 50 creation type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level destruction attribute monster, successfully extracted 40 destruction type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level destruction attribute monster, successfully extracted 35 creation type rule fragment crystals. To date, Xiao Ye possessed 139 destruction type crystals, far exceeding the 50 required for the upgrade template. Currently, he only lacked 50 life type rule fragment crystals. Below. Looking at the 5-clawed golden dragon that seemed to descend like a god, the titan giant ape was utterly shocked. Even its pride in its gigantic form, The Titan giant ape, over 100 meters tall, appeared small and clumsy before it. He had fought a horde of water dragon monsters for over half an hour without success, yet the five-clawed golden dragon wiped them all out in a single move. Last time, Xiao Ye had only slightly surpassed him, but in just a few days, Xiao Ye had completely overtaken him, leaving him far behind. Junming, it seems the Titan ape's penis has been bitten to pieces by the water dragons. Hong Yun's worried voice suddenly rang in Yang Junming's ears. The Titan ape looked down and, sure enough, it was covered in blood and torn to pieces. The Titan ape screamed and quickly transformed into human form, revealing Yang Junming and Hong Yun. Hong Yun jumped up and down a few times, looking surprised. I don't seem to be alright? I'm alright. Yang Junming cried out, his face contorted in pain. Of course you're alright if you don't have that thing. Ouch! It hurts so much. His legs trembled, and even the slightest movement aggravated his wounds, causing intense pain. The five-clawed golden dragon transformed into Xiao Ye and Nangung Xiao. Xiao Ye stepped forward, his lips twitching. Little Yang, you're finished. Yang Junming, his face contorted with grief, said, Brother Xiao. Hong Yun greeted him politely, Brother Xiao. After the last and this incident, Xiao Ye's strength had earned the recognition and respect of both of them. Even Hong Yun lowered her tone and addressed him as Brother Xiao. Xiao Ye nodded, shifting his gaze to the center of the lake bed. In the center of the cracked lake bed stood a giant red object over 10 meters tall, laden with bright red fruit. The fruit emanated an aura of supreme yang energy. Just smelling the aura wafting in the air made the four people present feel invigorated. Yang Junming stared at the red fruit, his eyes gleaming with longing. A supreme yang treasure, a treasure even a great venerable realm expert would covet. It's almost extinct on the market, priceless, he explained. I didn't expect to find one here. Brother Xiao, could you sell me 10 fruits? I'll buy each fruit with a low-grade great venerable realm crystal core. Yang Junming earnestly requested. The water dragon was annihilated by the five-clawed golden dragon, so this treasure tree belongs to Xiao Ye. Nangung Xiao's beautiful eyes widened in disbelief, and she whispered to Xiao Ye, these small, fist-sized red fruits can sell for such a high price? Xiao Ye raised an eyebrow, also quite surprised. Seeing that the two didn't respond, Yang Junming assumed the price was too low and laughed. Brother Xiao, if you think the price is too low, then I'll buy one with 2 low-grade great venerable realm crystal cores, and 10 with 20 low-grade great venerable realm crystal cores. How about that? Of course, you saved our lives, and we'll thank you with generous gifts when we get back. No problem, sold. Xiao Ye leaped onto the treasure tree, picked 10 ripe-looking red fruits, and returned to his original spot to hand them to Yang Junming. This guy was the son of a supreme being, with a wealthy family background, so he could just squeeze some money out of him. Yang Junming was overjoyed, took out 20 low-grade great venerable realm crystal cores from his storage ring, and handed over the goods with the money. With a red fruit in hand, he felt his broken wounds were finally healed. He gulped one down, swallowing it whole. A minute later, Yang Junming jumped up, overjoyed, it's healed. The wound's healed, and the broken cun is repaired too. Ha ha ha. Nangung Xiao felt cheated and whispered to Xiao Ye, such a miraculous fruit, didn't you sell it for too low a price? Xiao Ye thought the price was right. A great venerable's crystal core wasn't like cabbage, it could buy excellent healing medicine on the market, more than enough to heal a wound. Yang Junming glanced at the yang-type treasure fruit tree and suggested, Brother Xiao, I suggest you pick all the fruit, even the unripe ones. Otherwise, we won't be able to enter again for a year, and it would be a waste if they were ruined by magical beasts during that time. But Xiao Ye shook his head. No, since they're not ripe yet, there's no need to pick them. Yang Junming's eyes lit up. Not pick them? That way, he could enter the Holy Spirit secret realm next year and pick the fruit first. Nangung Xiao grew anxious, 1 great venerable crystal core for each fruit. If you won't pick it, I will. Xiao Ye grabbed her hand, it's not too late to pick it when it's ripe. Yang Junming, whose opinion was completely opposite to before, spoke up to smooth things over, right, it's not too late to pick it next year. Unripe fruit has less than half the efficacy of ripe fruit. Nangung Xiao turned her face away and snorted, fine, don't pick it then, it's up to you. Okay. Xiao Ye nodded, a smile appearing on his face. Everyone, step back 500 meters. Everyone was confused, but they all retreated from the lake area, Earth element control, as the name suggests, possesses absolute control over all earth elements in the world. Having inherited the summoned beast skill, Xiao Ye raised his hand, and a surging power of intent spread out, instantly covering a 300-meter diameter area centered on the red giant tree. Then, a shocking scene appeared. "Rise," Xiao Ye said in a deep voice. The entire cracked lake bed seemed to have been scooped up by a giant hand, including the soil, the giant red tree, and its intricate roots, all stripped from the ground and lifted into the air. 0. Nangguang Xiao exclaimed in surprise, her mouth agape. Yang Junming and Hong Yun, guessing Xiao Ye's purpose, showed shock on their faces. Collect. A flash of white light, and the soil, the roots of the giant red tree, and the tree itself were all collected into the system space. The system space was infinitely large, more than enough to hold this. Although life forms couldn't survive long in the system space, they could simply be planted somewhere after they left, and the Yang-type treasure fruits would be plentiful. Clapping his hands, Xiao Ye was satisfied. That's it. Looking at the empty lake bed, Yang Junming's face darkened. Not even a single root was left. What would they harvest next year? Xiao Ye laughed. Little Yang, come find me if you want to buy any later. By the way, do you know anything about the Holy Spirit secret realm? Do you know where the life attribute magical beasts are? Chapter 158, The Navigation Wheel, Hong Family's Dead Men. Yang Junming scratched his head awkwardly. The family has a general map of the Holy Spirit secret realm, but this is our first time entering. We rushed here after seeing the location of the Yang-type treasure, the red giant tree, and didn't bring a detailed map. Xiao Ye was speechless. He was so focused on the Yang-type treasure that he forgot to bring the map. But then Yang Junming said, we don't know the map of the Holy Spirit secret realm, but the Hong family prodigy definitely does. I can help you contact him. He took out a small steering wheel with 2 pointers, one red and one blue, and continued, the red pointer points to the direction of the Yang-type treasure, the red giant tree, which is the lake we're standing on. The blue pointer points to the location of the Hong family prodigy. Brother Xiao, you can just go find him. Yang Junming was unaware of the Hong family's recent plans. He was still stuck on Hong Tao's advice to find out Xiao Ye's preferences and cultivate a good relationship with him. Therefore, Yang Junming believed that the Hong family would be more than happy to have Xiao Ye explore the secret realm with the Hong family prodigy. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue in amazement. No wonder this kid could find the Red Lake so accurately after only a quick glance at the map. He had a steering wheel. Taking the steering wheel, he clasped his hands in thanks, saying, thank you. Yang Junming waved his hand in greeting. Then, a dragon's roar resounded, and Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao activated their contract power, transforming into a 5-clawed golden dragon and soaring into the sky. The blue pointer wasn't pointing towards the center of the secret realm, but rather southward. Xiao Ye's goal was to first find the Hong family's prodigy, inquire about the location of the life attribute magical beast, then slay it and obtain 15 life-type rule fragment crystals. As the 5-clawed golden dragon sped along, massive mountain ranges receded rapidly below. The consciousness of Nangguang Xiao in the dragon's mind said with some worry, according to Sister Liu Ya's speculation, Hong Tao, the young master of the Hong family, has targeted you twice in secret. Once was when he complained about you at the Maid Tavern, and the other time was during the last campus smear incident. Hong Tao, the young master of the Hong family, may not have any goodwill towards us. If we go to the Hong family's prodigy, will he tell us the truth? Xiao Ye pondered, indeed. Perhaps Hong Tao was once Liu Ya's suitor, so he was very unhappy with him and targeted him twice. If we beat him up, he'll surely give us the address, right? Xiao Ye replied. The smear incident was too bad. After this incident, he and Hong Tao were practically on opposite sides, and he didn't have any goodwill towards the Hong family. Therefore, as for the Hong family's prodigy, if he could take action, he would take action without hesitation. Nangguang Xiao readily agreed, I just couldn't hold back any longer, let's do something big here. Xiao Ye looked at the white clouds drifting in the sky with a strange expression, this place wasn't suitable, let's do it back home. Nangguang Xiao, no, right here. Xiao Ye had no choice but to go along with her. Then, the power of intent emanating from the 5-clawed golden dragon surged, layer upon layer, spreading out as if it were a tangible force, forming a powerful aura within the intent, growing ever stronger. Within this aura, the air couldn't withstand the pressure of the supreme attribute, directly repelling it to form a vacuum. Boom! With a sound, this aura finally took initial shape, transforming into a domain with a diameter of 100 meters centered on the five-clawed golden dragon. The five-clawed golden dragon's realm also advanced from the 10th star of the Grandmaster realm to the 1st star of the Venerable realm. Xiao Ye's face darkened. So you wanted to break through Sacred Might Domain, a domain evolved from Supreme Dragon Might, possessing the skill effects of Supreme Dragon Might, but with 10 times the power. Supreme Dragon Might, the ultimate version of Sacred Golden Dragon Might. After its oppressive aura is displayed, it weakens the enemy's attributes by 50%, transforming the user into a King Beast Overlord, commanding all King Beast bloodlines. Within the domain, the five-clawed golden dragon will become the true King Beast Overlord and the Overlord of Dragon-type magical beasts. Xiao Ye pondered for a moment and understood the domain's extraordinary nature. Supreme Dragon Might is a skill, its effect is short-lived after a single release. However, within the domain, it's equivalent to constantly releasing the Supreme Dragon Might skill, and with 10 times the effect. The Supreme Dragon Might skill has a cooldown time, but the domain has no cooldown. As long as the power of intent isn't exhausted, the domain can be continuously released. This domain can be continuously improved as the Venerable Realm level increases, integrating personal skills into it, increasing the diversity of the domain's effects, and enhancing the skill's power and effectiveness. 5 elements control, invincible golden body, true shield, absolute damage reduction, roar. The aura emanating from the five-clawed golden dragon suddenly surged dramatically, its flight speed increasing 4 or 5 times, like a phantom piercing through the air and weaving through the white clouds. 2 hours later, the five-clawed golden dragon arrived above the 100,000 mountains. Below, towering mountains rose and fell, not large in number but numerous, stretching as far as the eye could see. Boom! 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 Loud sounds of fighting soared into the sky, echoing across the heavens and reaching the ears of the five-clawed golden dragon tens of thousands of meters in the air. Xiao Ye's heart leaped with joy. The direction of the blue pointer on the steering wheel indicated the source of the fighting sounds. Finally, he had found it. Immediately, the five-clawed golden dragon plunged headlong downwards. Deep within the 100,000 mountains, atop a treacherous cliff, 2 young men and women, with long, slender faces and hooked eyes, ruthlessly slaughtered a group of Grandmaster-level Lilin dragons. Lilin dragons were small in size but long-necked, possessing low attack power but sharp eyesight and rapid reflexes. However, before the hook-eyed youth, they were as weak as ants, with 4 or 5 Lilin dragons dying almost every second. Hey! After this, I'll be free. They had recently used a breakthrough potion that overtaxed their bodies and damaged their foundations, forcibly breaking through to the Venerable Realm, greatly increasing their combat power. Their goal was to harvest destructive matter as quickly as possible. Half a minute later, the hundreds of Lilin dragons on this small mountain range had been slaughtered. PFFT. The hook-eyed youth plunged a hand into Lilin dragon's head, rummaged around, and pulled out a capsule containing destructive matter, storing it in their stored ring. PFFT. PFFT. One after another, the scene was brutal. Blood splattered across the ground, like a scene from hell. They only dug out the destructive material, ignoring everything else: crystal cores, fur, fat, skeletons, dragon dung, kidneys. Neither was needed. In just half a minute, all the destructive material from the Lilin dragons was extracted. Could it be even faster? The hawk-eyed youth wasn't satisfied with his speed, so he devised a method. Without injuring the Lilin dragons to kill them, he would directly dig out the destructive material from their heads while they were still alive. The two exchanged a glance, then, as if on cue, flew towards another small mountain range. PFFT. The head of a Grandmaster-level Lilin dragon that was grazing was pierced, and a capsule was dug out while it was still alive. The hawk-eyed youth was very satisfied. This speed was much faster, saving them the step of killing it. The Lilin dragons weren't very aggressive. They had specifically chosen this group of magical beasts. Roar. Suddenly, a clear dragon roar echoed from the sky. Golden light burst forth between heaven and earth, startling all the magical beasts and humans in this mountain range. Chapter 159. You shall remain here forever. Startled, the small herbivorous dinosaurs on the nearby mountain range scattered in droves, fleeing the brilliant golden light. Even the shrew dragons in the mountain where the young man and woman with hooked eyes were located, normally somewhat docile, were thrown into disarray. The young man and woman with hooked eyes' faces darkened. Their carefully chosen spot had been ruined. The five-clawed golden dragon arrived above them, inquiring about the location of the life attribute magical beast. The young man and woman with hooked eyes exchanged a glance, both their eyes filled with disdain. How rude. Kid, you've disturbed our enjoyment of slaying magical beasts, understand, the hooked-eyed man replied, seemingly ignoring the question. Not answering? The five-clawed golden dragon moved, its entire body erupting with power, forming a holy might domain, within 100-meter diameter, directly enveloping the young man and woman with hooked eyes. Boom. A double pressure of mental and physical force descended. The young man and woman with hooked eyes felt their bodies sink, their legs buckling, almost kneeling. Even their resilient minds were forced to pull back. They exchanged another glance, their hearts filled with shock. A domain. This is a venerable realm domain, and it doesn't seem like a newly promoted venerable. The domain is vast and powerful, stable and profound. This is a veteran venerable realm expert. How is this possible? Isn't it said that trainees are limited to the Grand Master realm? Who are these two contractors? The young master of the Yun family, the Chang family, the Yang family? None of them. The two were utterly baffled. Gradually increasing the pressure of the holy might domain, the five-clawed golden dragon spoke again. Tell me the address of the life attribute magical beast. The golden dragon could control the pressure and skill effects of the holy might domain with ease. The hawk-eyed young man and woman couldn't hold on any longer and knelt on one knee. The young woman clasped her hands and said, Senior, we don't know where the life attribute magical beast is. Please don't make things difficult for us. The young man echoed, Yes, Senior, don't waste your time on us. We don't know the address either. They looked sincere and spoke earnestly, sounding like they were telling the truth. Anyone else might have been fooled by the two, but Xiao Ye knew the truth. The five-clawed golden dragon's voice deepened, and it abruptly maximized its holy might domain, unleashing its full effect. Boom! A deafening roar erupted. The young man and woman with hooked eyes, both in human form, were instantly crushed to the ground by the immense gravitational pressure, their legs in the air. All their attributes plummeted. 90%, 80%, 70%, 60%, 50%, 40%. The decline only stopped when their attributes reached 40% of their original value. They felt their surging power, spiritual energy, and mental strength diminish significantly, until finally, half remained. They were horrified. Such a domain effect was unheard of, capable of directly reducing someone's power by more than half. They'd met their match. A bitter smile appeared on the hooked-eyed man's lips as he pulled a technological map from his storage ring, saying, This is a rough map of the magical beast distribution in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. I'll give it to you, Senior. The five-clawed golden dragon used its mental waves to approach and examined it. This so-called technological map was simply a leather map, marking the locations of most of the magical beasts in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Clicking on a location on the map would pop up a virtual screen, which would introduce the magical beast's realm, attack methods, and combat strength. Sure enough, the map included information about the locations of magical beasts with life attributes. Very good, the five-clawed golden dragon gave the technological map a thumbs up. The hawk-eyed young man feigned ease, saying, Senior, we've given you the map. Could you perhaps answer a question for us? He wanted to find out the origin of the five-clawed golden dragon and who its contractor was, so he could report it to the Supreme Hong family after leaving the Holy Spirit's secret realm and settle scores later. Glancing at him, Xiao Ye had the idea of keeping the two of them permanently in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Hong Tao had targeted him twice, once to ruin his relationship with Liu Yat, and once to ruin his reputation at Kunpeng Academy. Both were extremely vicious and ruthless attacks. He, Xiao Ye, and the Hong family were already enemies. The five-clawed golden dragon tossed down a small navigation disc, saying, Yang Zhenming sent me to find you. The young man and woman with hooked eyes examined the navigation disc, their faces darkening. This navigation disc was the one they had given to Yang Zhenming. So, the five-clawed golden dragon was one of their own? The young man with hooked eyes twitched his lips, a smile spreading across his face. Senior, so you're one of the Yang family's young master's men. Then we're on the same side. The Yang family and the Hong family have always been on good terms. This navigation disc was made by our Hong family and given to the Yang family's young master. The young woman secretly thought, You could have just shown us this navigation disc. We could have just given you a map. Why bother the scale dragon? Why go to such lengths to suppress us? Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile. One of their own? It seems these two are unaware of Hong Tao's hostile relationship with him. The five-clawed golden dragon laughed. Since you both know each other, then, please, you two, slumber here forever. The hawk-eyed young man was overjoyed, subconsciously believing the five-clawed golden dragon would release them, and said, all right, that's fine. But after realizing what was happening, his smile suddenly froze, his eyes widening in disbelief. Senior, you must be joking. At this moment, the two of them were completely suppressed, unable to even get up, but secretly, they directly mobilized the power of their contract, beginning to summon the S-rank Eagle template, Contract Beast. With a chirp, a high-pitched sound resounded, Holy Might Domain, Mind Shock at maximum power. With a crack, as if a mirror were shattering, the two men's minds violently vibrated, the summoning was directly interrupted, the vision of transforming into eagles shattered, and with a thud, the two men fell to the ground like dead dogs. Interrupted spellcasting. Interrupted transformation. The holy dragon pressure of Holy Might Domain not only had a gravitational pressure effect, but also a mind shock effect. Kill me or torture me, do as you please. But if you kill us, you will bear the wrath of the Hong family. Despair was evident on their faces, but their eyes remained resolute. They were assassins trained by the Huang family, destined to perish on the battlefield sooner or later. They had long been prepared for this, but they hadn't expected death to come so quickly. This harvesting mission was destined to fail. They could retrieve the teleportation item to leave the secret realm from their storage rings, but would a five-clawed golden dragon give them time to crush it? Gold element control. The five-clawed golden dragon activated its innate skill. With the spread of mental waves, the metal-containing combat suits worn by the hawk-eyed young man and woman shattered with a crash. The metal within transformed into two sharp swords, piercing towards their hearts. The metal swords, empowered by the five-clawed golden dragon's intent, mental waves, and energy, directly broke through their passive body defenses, piercing their bodies with a soft thud, passing through their hearts, and shooting out from their backs, striking a boulder 100 meters away with a clang. The white knife went in and the red knife came out, the light in their eyes quickly disappeared, turning gray. Chapter 160 An Unexpected Encounter with New King Su, the Heart of the Secret Realm. Nangguang Xiao worriedly asked, Xiao Ye, aren't you afraid Yang Junming will expose us? With the Hong family's prodigy sacrificed, if Yang Junming were to expose them, they would definitely be targeted by the Hong family. Xiao Ye laughed. The Hong family has been targeting us secretly for a long time. What difference does it make whether he exposes us or not? Nangguang Xiao suddenly understood. The Hong family had already targeted them twice. Even if this didn't happen, there was a very high probability they would target them a third or fourth time. Xiao Ye felt it necessary to make things clear to the young woman. We need to plan the Hong family's affairs carefully. This is just an appetizer. Nangguang Xiao fell silent. Xiao Ye thought she was afraid. After all, it was normal to be afraid when facing a top-tier supreme family. But then Nangguang Xiao giggled and said, the greater the pressure, the stronger our motivation. It's just a supreme realm, right? Jinlong will reach that level in no time. He, then will kill gods and Buddhas alike, slay supreme beings, and flatten the Hong family. As she spoke, her tone became extremely excited and agitated. Xiao Ye. The young woman controlled the five-clawed golden dragon, spewing a ball of flame onto the two still warm corpses on the ground. The scorching flames quickly incinerated the two bodies. A gentle breeze blew, and the ashes flew in the wind, soon disappearing. The crimson flames burned everything away, including the storage rings. Xiao Ye exclaimed in surprise, Xiao, you haven't taken out their storage rings yet. You know, looting corpses, right? Ah, the young woman cried out. I was only thinking about taking advantage of the heat. Sorry. Xiao Ye. This is considered taking advantage of the heat? Taking advantage of the heat usually means. The young woman pouted, oh dear, it's the first time. You'll get more experience and then you'll know how to loot corpses. A few seconds later, the five-clawed golden dragon opened its 10-meter-long golden eyes, looking at the 20-centimeter-sized technological map. Luckily, its eyesight was amazing. Otherwise it would have gotten a sty. According to the markings on the map, The Holy Spirit secret realm was indeed half the size of the Dragon Kingdom. The Holy Spirit realm is bordered by a large mountain range, with a sea in the middle. Dotted with islands of varying sizes, more than 10 islands and parts of the sea are inhabited by magical beasts with life attributes. Click on a magical beast's portrait to view detailed information. The everlasting alligator turtle monster swarm, a venerable realm monster swarm, with long lifespans, difficult reproduction, extremely united, skilled in physical and water-based attacks, and possessing astonishing regenerative abilities. The bow-headed whale monster swarm, a venerable realm monster swarm, with long lifespans, living in extremely cold waters. The Greenland shark monster swarm, a great venerable realm monster swarm, with long lifespans, living in the deep sea at tens of thousands of meters, spending more than half its time in a dormant state. The Turritopsis dornii monster swarm, a venerable realm monster swarm, with long lifespans, small in size, completely transparent, and relatively weak in combat. The Red Sea urchin monster plant swarm, a venerable realm monster plant swarm, with long lifespans, covered in barbs, extremely powerful, living in shallow sea areas. The glass sponge monster swarm, venerable realm. Xiao Ye's eyelids twitched. Damn, these were all venerable realm monster swarms and monster plant swarms. Venerable realm monster swarms meant that most of the monsters in the swarms were venerable realm, a small portion were below venerable realm, and there were likely a few great venerable realm monsters. Dean Yangxi's restriction on the trainees' cultivation level to the Grandmaster realm is clearly intended to prevent them from encountering life attribute magical beasts. What's the difference between going and courting death? Even if they happen to encounter life attribute magical beasts, they are extremely united. Even if there are magical beasts below the venerable realm in the group, it will be difficult for the trainees to kill them and obtain life matter. Xiao Ye and Nangong Xiao consulted the instructions on the technology map and decided to first go to the locations of the alligator turtle magical beast group and the lighthouse jellyfish magical beast group, and then try to obtain life-type rule fragment crystals. Target: the island on the edge of the island group, where the alligator turtle magical beast group is located. Roar! A dragon's roar rang out, and the five-clawed golden dragon immediately pierced through the air and flew away, constantly shuttling through the sky. Along the way, they saw the young master of the Yun family and his contractor, fighting fiercely with the Velociraptor magical beast group. Without stopping, the five-clawed golden dragon directly swept across the sky. On an island on the edge of the central island group, a stunningly beautiful woman with snow-white, translucent skin and long, straight black hair, and a handsome man were hiding behind a boulder, furtively peering into the island. The handsome man, Gigante, looked anxious and impatient, saying, "Why don't we just rush over and check it out? We've been dawdling here for half an hour." The stunning woman, however, felt uneasy. Her expression remained calm as she analyzed. The independent space where the heart of the secret realm is located is the core of the entire secret realm. The energy emanating from it is dense, naturally attracting a horde of magical beasts to linger until they establish themselves there. Rushing over to check directly would be like venturing into the heart of the magical beast horde's stronghold, too dangerous. Life attribute magical beasts are extremely difficult to breed, most are of royal bloodline, very united, and very troublesome. We are both at the peak of the Grandmaster realm. Acting rashly would only waste this opportunity. A virtual screen popped up from her wristwatch, displaying a detailed map of the island group and information on the distribution of magical beasts. As an official force of the City Lord's mansion, she possessed maps even more detailed than those of the Hong family, recording far more secrets. The heart of the secret realm was the core of the entire secret realm, located at its heart, though not necessarily at the exact center. Their purpose was to enter the authority space of the heart of the secret realm and, through the means brought from the City Lord's mansion, acquire authority over the secret realm, thus gaining control of this Holy Spirit secret realm. As for Kunpeng Supreme Yangxi, the City Lord's mansion would intervene. Ahead of them lay the stronghold of the crocodile turtle beast horde, with numerous cave entrances at the base of the rocks. Mu Kingsu could clearly sense that the energy level ahead was several levels higher than in other areas. After pondering for a while, the handsome young man, Gigante, came up with a plan. His eyes lit up as he said, "Zuir, I'll create some noise to attract the attention of the alligator turtle monsters and try to lure them away from the rocky area. You can take the opportunity to go to the rocky area and check if it's the core of the secret realm." Hearing him call her Zuir, Mu Kingsa frowned. "Then you go." If there's danger, just crush the teleportation item and leave the secret realm. Hehe. The handsome young man, Xie Mengxuan, was overjoyed. This was the first time he'd called her Xuer without her objecting to his name. Xuer, leave it to me. He excitedly leaped over the boulder and sprinted towards the rocky area, his legs trembling. The stunningly beautiful woman with long, straight black hair, Mengxuan, was speechless. Hey! Xie Mengxuan arrived at the rock formation, hands on his hips, and roared, "You bastards, come out here. Today I'll show you what I'm made of." His shout, infused with sonic attack, even caused the air to vibrate, crashing heavily onto the rocks. From the dense mass of rocks, a small head emerged from the foremost cave entrance, the head of a crocodile turtle monster. It glanced at Xie Mengxuan with disdain, then ignored him and returned to its cave. Only one crocodile turtle emerged, giving him a disdainful look. The other caves remained completely hidden. Xie Mengxuan. Suddenly, a hand patted his shoulder, and a magnetic male voice came from the side. "Brother, how about I give it a try?" Holy crap! Xie Mengxuan jumped in surprise. Who? Where did this come from? Chapter 161 Mengxuan, so soft. Xie Mengxuan turned around and immediately saw a handsome young man and woman behind him. The man was unusually young and very handsome, and to his surprise, the woman with the terrifyingly large breasts was no less beautiful than his white moonlight goddess, Mengxuan. "So it's you two." Xie Mengxuan naturally recognized these two as the trainees brought by the Kunpeng Supreme. He waved his hand. "Don't cause trouble, go do what you're supposed to do. Don't interfere with our business." Xiao Ye pointed to the rock formation. "Is this how you do business?" Xiao Ye had just arrived on the island when he witnessed Xie Mengxuan's outburst. The crocodile turtle monsters seemed to despise this human for being too weak and were too lazy to bother with him. Xie Mengxuan's face darkened. The two of them had actually witnessed him being scorned and ignored by the crocodile turtles. Damn it. Ahem. That was a mistake just now. If we do it again, we can definitely lure them out. Xie Mengxuan said somewhat awkwardly. Anyway, you two should just get lost. Suddenly, he became impatient, and his voice became low. Having finally gotten another chance to explore the secret realm alone with Mengxuan, Xie Mengxuan didn't want it ruined. Nangguang Xiao said speechlessly, "The crocodile turtle island isn't yours. You think you can tell us to get lost?" Xie Mengxuan's face darkened. "If I told you to get lost, then get lost. Don't be ungrateful." At this moment, Mengxuan, who was behind the boulder not far away, suddenly leaped over it with her long, white legs, arriving in front of the group in a few seconds. She said, "Since they're staying, then let them stay. It doesn't conflict with our purpose." Xie Mengxuan was anxious. But Mengxuan's voice turned cold. "That's how it is." Xie Mengxuan choked on his words, opened his mouth but didn't say anything more. Xiao Ye and the other person carefully examined Mengxuan and found that she had bright eyes and white teeth, a face that could shame the moon and flowers, and skin that was so white it shone. Her long black hair cascaded down to her waist. She was a top-tier beauty who was no less than Xie. Xiao Ye stepped forward and introduced himself. "My name is Xiao Ye, a freshman at Kunpeng Academy." Out of politeness, Mengxuan shook his hand briefly, then quickly separated. Mengxuan, daughter of the city lord. Her hand was soft, like cotton, boneless and supple. Xiao Ye had a good impression of her, but Mengxuan's next words made his expression change. Mengxuan glanced at him with a mocking and arrogant look, saying, "A freshman? That's just a kid. A low-level grandmaster at such a young age is quite impressive, but the crocodile turtle beast horde is a venerable realm beast horde. I hope you'll be careful later. You'd better crush your teleportation item and leave the secret realm, or you might just kick the bucket." Seeing another man touching the hand of his beloved goddess, Xie Mengxuan was furious and chimed in, "Yes, no matter how incompetent I am, I'm still a peak grandmaster. I hope you don't kick the bucket later." Xiao Ye didn't bother arguing with him and immediately used the pressure inherited from the five-claw golden dragon. A weakened version of Supreme Dragon Might. Boom. A loud bang. As the oppressive force crushed down, the air collapsed, slamming into the rock formation. 2 seconds passed, and not a single alligator snapping turtle emerged from the rocks. Ho ha ho ha. Xie Mengxuan laughed, clutching his stomach, his eyes mocking. "Just now, when I attacked, at least one alligator snapping turtle appeared, but you, not a single one." Mengxuan's lips curled into a smirk. Xiao Ye was speechless. What was the rush? Weakened version of Supreme Dragon Might, at maximum power. With a thunderous boom, the air collapsed again, as if a Supreme Dragon's roar was echoing through it. Roar. The dragon's roar pierced through the rocks, penetrated the space, and precisely reached the ears of all the sleeping alligator snapping turtles. Supreme Dragon Might dominates the bloodline of the King Beast, dominates the bloodline of dragons. Even though Xiao Ye was releasing a weakened version, it still possessed immense power. One by one, the sleeping alligator snapping turtles suddenly awoke, their pupils shrinking as if they had sensed a great terror descending, each revealing a look of fear. This oppressive aura is so similar to that of the Emperor who vanished 100 years ago. Only the Emperor could make our royal beast bloodline feel such suppression and tremors. Great! The Emperor has returned. After more than 100 years, the Emperor has finally returned. Everyone, stand up and come out of the cave to welcome the Emperor's return. The crocodile turtle demonic beasts filed out, heading towards the rock formation with great fanfare. Before long, the previously empty rock formation was suddenly filled with a dense swarm of crocodile turtle demonic beasts, varying in cultivation level, all looking towards Xiao Ye with reverent eyes. Ha ha ha. Oh. Xie Mengxuan, who was still laughing, suddenly froze, choked on his saliva, and coughed violently. He coughed until he was breathless, and after a long while, he raised a trembling finger at the rock formation with disbelief, saying, "How is this possible? Damn it, all these crocodile turtle demonic beasts have come out." Xie Mengxuan was also stunned. Then her expression changed drastically, and she said in a solemn voice, "Everyone, run. Hundreds of venerable and great venerable level crocodile turtles will crush us." She and Xie Mengxuan fled the area at lightning speed, hiding behind the boulder. Xie Mengxuan patted his chest, still shaken, and said, "Luckily, Zuier warned us quickly, otherwise we would have perished here today." Xie Mengxuan sighed. These two students have angered the crocodile turtle beast horde, their fate is probably grim. They looked towards the edge of the rock formation. Xiao Ye and Nangong Xiao, facing so many venerable and great venerable level beasts, remained calm. They showed no fear, instead, their eyes shone with intense excitement and anticipation. They exchanged a glance, both seeing the surprise in each other's eyes. King Beast bloodline. They both sensed that 80% of the beasts in this crocodile turtle horde possessed a King Beast bloodline. Roar. Activating the power of the contract, a brilliant golden light shone out, and a huge 5-claw golden dragon appeared in the sky. The Holy Might Domain was unleashed. The full version of the Supreme Dragon Might talent skill was released at full power. With a thunderous boom, just as the crocodile turtle demonic beast horde was wondering how the Emperor's pressure could emanate from a human, an incomparably vast pressure descended from the sky, suppressing them and their royal beast bloodlines. The crocodile turtle demonic beast horde's expressions changed drastically. Their royal beast bloodlines trembled violently, then, unable to withstand the pressure, they shook violently, turning gray and becoming lifeless as if sealed. The restriction on their royal beast bloodlines affected their entire body's energy and intent power. At this point, whether they were venerables or great venerables, they could not mobilize even a trace of their royal beast bloodlines. Their energy and intent power were trapped in a quagmire, difficult to use. A domain is formed by the condensation and transformation of intent power. If intent power cannot be mobilized, a domain cannot be formed. Therefore, at this moment, they only had their physical combat power left, unable even to fly. Chapter 162 SSS Level Time Candle Dragon Template. The horde of crocodile turtle monsters roared in terror. Damn it, how can this dragon unleash the might of our emperor? No, it's even more terrifying than our emperor. Is it possible that it is our emperor? The leader of the royal clan stared solemnly at the 5-claw golden dragon in the sky, and said in a deep voice, "May I ask, Your Excellency, what is your relationship with our emperor?" The emperor of a clan, in terms of bloodline rank, is superior to the King Beast bloodline, and can suppress and seal the King Beast bloodline. The leader of the royal clan sensed a bloodline connection similar to that of the crocodile turtle emperor on the 5-claw golden dragon. It speculated that this 5-claw golden dragon might be the emperor's transformed form, or an offspring born from the union of the emperor and a dragon-type monster. Regardless of the speculation, this 5-claw golden dragon had a close relationship with the emperor. Behind the boulder, Xie Mengxuan and Xie Mengxuan rubbed their eyes, staring in disbelief. The enormous horde of crocodile turtle monsters at the venerable realm level had actually been subdued by the five-clawed golden dragon. Xie Mengxuan felt his understanding was being overturned. How is this possible? He's just a low-level grandmaster, how could he? Mu Qingsu interrupted him. No, he's not a low-level grandmaster, he's a venerable. Mu Qingsu could sense the layers of pressure in the air and the iconic domain in the sky. It was definitely a venerable. Hearing this, Xie Mengxuan felt even more incredulous. A freshman, a venerable? This talent, this cultivation speed, even you, Xie Ye, are inferior. Mu Qingsu thought about it carefully, and it was true. Her face darkened. At only 20 years old, she had reached the peak of the Grandmaster realm and was hailed as the #1 prodigy in the city. Xiao Ye and the other person, who were only freshmen, were definitely no more than 19 years old, yet they had reached the astonishing venerable realm. Her title as the #1 prodigy in the city was no longer valid. But a 19-year-old venerable realm. Mu Qingsu frowned. As a reincarnation of an ancient saint, although she had only inherited a little bit of her memories, even in her previous life, she was inferior to Xiao Ye and the other person. Not good. Mu Qingsu hurriedly used her innate skill, prophecy. As the time factor flowed by, a blurry image appeared in her mind. Mu Qingsu was shocked. Before entering the secret realm, she had prophesied that she would successfully enter the heart of the secret realm alone and obtain the secret realm's authority through the city lord's means. But this time, the prophecy showed her and Xiao Ye entering the heart of the secret realm together, vying for the authority and claiming it as their master. To her shame, after entering the heart of the secret realm, all their clothes would be erased by the special barrier, meaning that she and Xiao Ye would be naked in the independent space of the heart of the secret realm, vying for the secret realm's authority. The prophecy has changed. Mu Qingsu's expression was solemn. Her awakened template was the SSS-Level Time Candle Dragon template, a rare time attribute type, possessing some time-related innate skills. Prophecy had never been wrong, but this time it had changed. This was the first time such a thing had happened, whether in her past life or this one. Even with intervention from an emperor-level expert, the predetermined future couldn't be changed. Prophecy was never wrong, so the problem lay with Xiao Ye. Mu Qingsu looked down at her snow-white skin and curvaceous figure. She felt her cheeks flush. Prophecy foretold the future. Even if she turned and left the secret realm now, the prophesied scene would inevitably appear at some point in the future. Therefore, Mu Qingsu made up her mind to face it calmly and not run away. At worst, she could turn her back on Xiao Ye after entering the heart of the secret realm. Xie Mengxuan exclaimed, "Xie Ye, look! The crocodile turtle monster horde seems to be kneeling before the golden dragon. Holy crap, is this real?" Mu Qingsu snapped out of her daze and looked over with her beautiful eyes. Sure enough. Upon hearing the words of its king leader, the five-clawed golden dragon exclaimed, "Your Majesty? I am your Majesty." The king leader was shocked, filled with countless doubts, but the connection of its bloodline was unmistakable. It immediately proclaimed, "Fellow tribesmen, this is your Majesty. It has returned." The crocodile turtle demon beast horde erupted in excitement. "Your Majesty, you have finally returned. Is the Your Majesty's form a manifestation of bloodline evolution? Your Majesty did not abandon us. That's wonderful." Roar. Led by the great venerable crocodile turtle king leader, the entire crocodile turtle demon beast horde bowed in submission to the five-clawed golden dragon in the sky. "Your Majesty, 100 years ago, a human supreme being captured us and imprisoned us in the sea with a restriction. Please, Your Majesty, lift the restriction and avenge us," the king leader pleaded. In the sky, within the five-clawed golden dragon's mind, Xiao Ye and Xiao stared in disbelief. Xiao chuckled, "They seem to have mistaken us for the wrong beast." Xiao Ye nodded and then shook his head. They're recognizing the bloodline of the golden dragon, not its appearance. Xiao hesitated. "Now that we're their king, should we still kill the crocodile turtles to obtain template upgrade resources?" "Xiao Ye, don't worry about it, I have a plan. But this plan might fail, so we need to be prepared for a big fight." "Xiao, I'm ready. It's just a big fight, I don't feel tired even though we fight every night." Xiao Ye. It's not advisable for the two of them to revert to human form now, lest the crocodile turtle leader's suspicions increase. The two wanted to kill 50 magical beasts in the venerable realm beast horde. Even though their bloodlines were restricted, their physical combat power was still terrifying, and their numbers were vast. The 5-claw golden dragon wouldn't stand a chance in such a fight. Currently, I am in a state of rebuilding after a break in my cultivation, and I need the bodies of 50 life attribute magical beasts. The 5-claw golden dragon politely declined the request of its king leader and instead ordered the alligator turtle magical beast horde to hunt down the lighthouse jellyfish magical beast horde. The alligator turtle leader sensed something amiss with the golden dragon's words. However, the alligator turtle magical beast horde outside the surrounding rock formation cheered, "We will obey our king's orders. Rest assured, we will complete the order perfectly. Ha ha ha. Don't worry about 50. Even if we annihilate all those little jellyfish, so what? My heart is already burning with hunger. Leader, let's go." The alligator turtle leader, at the peak of the great venerable realm, had no choice but to obey his heart and shouted, "All of you, follow me to conquer the lighthouse jellyfish magical beast horde. Objective, annihilation. To welcome the king's return. Annihilation. 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 Annihilation." The alligator turtle magical beasts excitedly followed with shouts. Subsequently, led by the great venerable realm alligator turtle leader, the alligator turtle magical beast horde set off in a grand procession. The 5-claw golden dragon hovered above the rock formations, watching them depart. Mengxuan's gaze remained fixed on the dragon, as if trying to see through it completely, oblivious to the departure of the crocodile turtle monster herd. Xie Mengxuan's eyes nearly popped out of his head in astonishment. Did this freak start cultivating from the womb? Such a young venerable realm expert, and even the crocodile turtle monster herd obeys him. Xiao Ye, let's quickly go to the rock formations to detect the location of the heart of the secret realm. Mengxuan withdrew her bewildered gaze and, together with Xie Mengxuan, stepped over the boulders and headed towards the center of the rock formations. Then, she took out the detection technology for the heart of the secret realm from her storage space. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163, Continuous Harvesting, Crystallization of Life-Type Rule Fragments. The furtive way the two were examining the heart of the secret realm was reflected in the golden vertical pupils of the 5-claw golden dragon in midair. Their actions made it clear they were searching for rare and precious treasures. Xiao was speechless. "We painstakingly lured away the crocodile turtle monster horde, and you two want to take advantage?" The 5-claw golden dragon snorted coldly, swooping down, its 50-meter-long head pressing against Xie Mengxuan's face. It said coldly, "You, who wouldn't even bother with the crocodile turtle monster horde, didn't you think we were in your way? Now you're taking advantage?" The 1.7-meter-tall, handsome Xie Mengxuan was startled by the enormous creature. He then said somewhat awkwardly, "Don't put it so harshly. I also contributed, okay? You think you alone could intimidate the entire crocodile turtle monster horde? Xiao Ye and I also played a part. Right, Xiao Ye?" His eyes gleamed with expectation. Mengxuan scoffed. "What merit do we have? All we do is pat ourselves on the back, are we? Kings of empty boasting?" Oh. Xie Mengxuan's expression froze, his words caught in his throat. He was internally frantic. "Xiao Ye, whose side are you on? We're on the same team, for crying out loud." He dared not say these words, but Xie Mengxuan stared directly at the golden dragon's head, thinking of a rebuttal. However, when he saw the dragon's majestic golden vertical pupils, his heart trembled violently. He opened his mouth, the words on the tip of his tongue, but he couldn't utter a sound. Seeing Xie Mengxuan's discomfiture, Xiao chuckled, her mood improving considerably. The 5-claw golden dragon returned to the sky, watching their every move. Xiao Ye was also curious, what were these two searching for? There was nothing on the rocks, yet they kept probing here and there. Mengxuan and Xie Mengxuan continued to move across the rocks. Their detection technology, a combination of post-apocalyptic materials and sophisticated techniques, resembled a metal scanner. It needed to scan various locations, emitting an alert sound upon detection. After checking for a while, Mengxuan stopped and asserted, "It's not here." The 5-claw golden dragon asked with slight curiosity, "What are you looking for?" Mengxuan replied, "Little brat." She paused abruptly as she spoke. The five-claw golden dragon resembled a prehistoric beast, both powerful and enormous, incredibly large and thick. Calling it small was inappropriate. So she changed her words, "You wouldn't understand anyway, so there's no need for you to know." Then she and Xie Mengxuan left the rocky area, walking further and further away, intending to search for the heart of the secret realm in the next location. Xie Mengxuan's cheerful voice faintly drifted over, "You go your way, I'll cross our narrow bridge. Kid, goodbye forever." The five-claw golden dragon watched the two leave. Xiao Ye was speechless. It sounded as if she enjoyed being with him. Xiao Ye, however, felt things weren't so simple. These two individuals were from the city lord's mansion. Judging from their purpose, it seemed they weren't after killing magical beasts to obtain life essence, but for something else entirely. But what in the secret realm could be more alluring than life essence? Unable to figure it out, they had to put it aside for the time being. The five-claw golden dragon soared into the sky, heading towards the sea area where the turtle jellyfish was located. Half an hour later, the five-claw golden dragon arrived above a sea area, where the sounds of fierce fighting echoed from the water. A group of alligator snapping turtle magical beasts and a group of turtle jellyfish magical beasts were engaged in battle. The alligator snapping turtle magical beasts were generally at a higher level than the turtle jellyfish. The turtle jellyfish had slightly weaker attack power and a smaller size, and the alligator snapping turtle magical beasts seemed to understand the jellyfish's habits and weaknesses quite well, almost completely overwhelming the turtle jellyfish. It was a one-sided battle. Xiao Ye was somewhat alarmed. The alligator snapping turtle magical beast group contained more than 20 great venerable realm experts, 5 of whom were at the peak of the great venerable realm. Moreover, the alligator snapping turtles possessed astonishing defensive capabilities, with tough shells. Jinlong was fortunate not to fight them, otherwise he would have had to crush the teleportation item to escape before even obtaining 50 crystals. The number of Turritopsis dornii far exceeded that of the alligator snapping turtles, but their combat strength was low. They were skilled in using electricity. As the number of Turritopsis dornii monsters dying increased, Xiao Ye directly activated the extraction function of the template adjuster. Grandmaster Realm Turritopsis dornii monster successfully extracted 30 life-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable Realm Turritopsis dornii monster successfully extracted 90 life-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable Realm Turritopsis dornii monster successfully extracted 60 creation-type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster Realm Turritopsis dornii monster successfully extracted 40 lightning-type rule fragment crystals. Great Venerable Realm Turritopsis dornii monster successfully extracted 3 life-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable Realm Alligator Snapping Turtle monster successfully extracted 30 life-type rule fragment crystals. The number of crystals extracted greatly surprised Xiao Ye. In just a short time, he successfully obtained 153 life-type crystals, 60 creation-type crystals, and 40 lightning-type crystals, far exceeding the required 50 life forms. Moreover, in the waters below, the two groups of magical beasts were still locked in fierce combat. Both sides had suffered casualties. Therefore, what was extracted was not merely the crystals within the Turritopsis dornii magical beast. In the depths of the sea, the leader of the alligator turtle magical beast group, engaged in a fierce battle with 2 peak-level Grand Venerable Turritopsis dornii, was constantly monitoring both sides. Suddenly, he noticed that the alligator turtle magical beasts in Turritopsis dornii, which had just died or were severely injured and in a temporary state, seemed to be enveloped by some great terror. Their bodies convulsed, becoming dilapidated and decaying, emitting a nauseating stench. Then, their bodies flattened and turned into sand-like powder, scattering into the seawater. The alligator turtle leader magical beast was enraged. These Turritopsis dornii carcasses were his spoils of war, to be offered to the returning king. The alligator turtle's corpse was not something anyone could touch. How dare they? They actually attacked something belonging to my alligator snapping turtle clan. His aura surged dramatically, and in a flash, he repelled the 2 peak-level Grand Venerable Realm turtle jellyfish that had been fighting him. His terrifying aura permeated the entire battlefield, attempting to uncover the masterminds behind it all. At this moment, Xiao Ye activated the template adjuster's extraction function again. A vast extraction power descended. The bodies of the recently fallen turtle jellyfish and the alligator snapping turtle demonic beasts decayed and crumbled once more, finally turning into dust. The alligator snapping turtle king leader was dumbfounded. He watched helplessly as his spoils were erased, yet he couldn't detect any terrifying power. It was as if the spoils had naturally turned to dust, without any external force at play. As for the mastermind, he couldn't find them either. Hiss! The alligator snapping turtle king leader gasped. This terrifying method, which had left him completely undetected, could only have been used by a supreme or higher being. At that moment, a majestic voice came from above. It was I who took action. You don't need to panic. Just continue hunting the Turritopsis dornii. Chapter 164 The Heart of the Secret Realm. Mu Kingsu is overjoyed. The leader of the alligator snapping turtles was startled, his eyes widening in shock. The Emperor. It was the Emperor's voice. As the leader's gaze moved upwards, he finally spotted a colossal creature several thousand meters above the sea. It really was the Emperor. He was stunned by this terrifying power, and his doubts about the Emperor's authenticity lessened considerably. The Emperor. Still as terrifying as before. Yes, Your Majesty, the leader replied, unleashing an even more explosive attack than before, engaging the 2-peak level Grand Venerable Realm Lighthouse Jellyfish in fierce combat. It's the Emperor. The Emperor is watching us. Kill. The Emperor's first battle back must be won spectacularly. Annihilate the Lighthouse Jellyfish. Charge. Fight for the Emperor. The morale of the alligator snapping turtle horde soared. What had been a one-sided battle now became a crushing defeat, rapidly reaping the lighthouse jellyfish monsters. As time passed, Xiao Ye continuously extracted rule fragment crystals, and the number of crystals within the system increased exponentially. Grandmaster level lighthouse jellyfish monster successfully extracted 80 life-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable level lighthouse jellyfish monster successfully extracted 220 life-type rule fragment crystals. Venerable level alligator turtle monster successfully extracted 40 life-type rule fragment crystals. An hour passed. Xiao Ye harvested another 440 life-type crystals, 260 creation-type crystals, 80 lightning attribute crystals, and 230 water attribute crystals. Adding to what he had obtained before, he now possessed a total of 413 life-type, 120 lightning attribute, 320 creation-type, and 250 water attribute crystals. A truly bountiful harvest. At this time, the battle between the two sides in the sea was also coming to an end. The alligator turtle monster horde had won a great victory with few casualties, while the lighthouse jellyfish side suffered 99% losses, with some remaining injured. But these remaining ones were the most difficult to deal with. They were all Grand Venerable level lighthouse jellyfish monsters, making it very difficult for the alligator turtle monster horde to kill them. Xiao Ye felt that killing all these Grand Venerable realm cultivators wouldn't even take a day, so he decided to make his move. His innate skill, Supreme Dragon's Might, a dual pressure of gravity and mind, weakening enemy magical beasts' attributes by half. It has a dominant effect on king beast bloodlines and dragon bloodlines. A clear dragon's roar rang out, piercing the air and seawater, resounding in the ears of all the magical beasts in the sea area. The remaining lighthouse jellyfish Grand Venerable realm magical beasts trembled violently, as if they had encountered some great terror, their attributes decreasing by half. All attributes reduced by half, their combat power was not simply reduced by half. Therefore, at this moment, the lighthouse jellyfish magical beasts' combat power and defense were greatly reduced. It's the Emperor making a move. A miracle, simply a miracle. Charge. Fight alongside the Emperor. Holy crap, I've made it big. Fighting against the alien races alongside the Emperor. The crocodile turtle magical beast horde, unaffected by the dragon's might, seized the opportunity and quickly annihilated the remaining Grand Venerable realm lighthouse jellyfish magical beasts. More than 20 corpses of Grand Venerable realm turtle jellyfish were carried to the surface by a swarm of alligator turtle beasts. They bowed to the 5-claw golden dragon as if in reverence. The alligator turtle king leader said with deep respect, Your Majesty, we have lived up to your command, achieved a great victory, and returned in triumph. He waved his tortoise leg. Venerable realm alligator turtle warriors carried the more than 20 corpses of Grand Venerable realm turtle jellyfish, hovering in the air, and placed them neatly in front of the 5-claw golden dragon. The bodies of Grand Venerable realm cultivators are treasures from head to toe. The 5-claw golden dragon blinked and stored the bodies of the turtle jellyfish into its system space. There were enough fragments of life-type rules crystals, extracting them would be a waste. Hiss. Just who is this Xiao Ye? The alligator turtle clan really obeyed his orders and annihilated the entire turtle jellyfish clan. Several thousand meters away, Gigante and Mu Kingsu were hidden in the seawater. Gigante gasped. He would be envious of more than 20 bodies of Grand Venerable Realm cultivators. Even if he were born into the City Lord's mansion, the son of the City Lord's guardian general, his wealth wouldn't be this extravagant. Even his father, the City Lord guardian general, wasn't as wealthy as Xiao Ye. In the demon capital base city, Saint Realm experts live in seclusion, Supreme Realm experts are top-tier combatants, and Great Venerable Realm experts are also powerful figures. There aren't many of them. It's unimaginable what a huge sensation it would cause if the terrifying force of the crocodile turtle could be freely mobilized by the golden dragon and appear outside the secret realm, that is, on Blue Star. Of the 300 crocodile turtle demonic beasts, over 250 are at the Venerable Realm or above, over 40 are at the Great Venerable Realm, and there are also some at the peak of the Great Venerable Realm. Let's ignore them for now, Mu Kingsu said, her beautiful eyes sparkling. After the crocodile turtle clan leaves, we'll go to the lighthouse jellyfish clan's territory to test the heart of the secret realm. Controlling the secret realm heart and the secret realm authority is like controlling the entire Holy Spirit secret realm. Not only can one freely enter and exit, but one can also use the entire Holy Spirit secret realm for one's own purposes. Even Mu Kingsu, a reincarnation of an ancient Saint Realm expert, is extremely envious. According to the City Lord's Mansion's investigation, the authority to the heart of the Holy Spirit realm is still intact and was not taken away by the Supreme Being Yangtze. Therefore, the two of them took advantage of this training opportunity to try and obtain the authority. At this moment, Mu Kingsu recalled the scene foretold by the prophecy and blushed. In the distance, the five-clawed golden dragon collected the spoils of the crocodile turtle clan and praised them, causing them to be extremely happy and excited. The Emperor's praise. This was an immense honor. The crocodile turtle king leader narrowed his eyes and said, "Your Majesty, there are 2 human ants spying on us over there. I'll go and wipe them out." The five-clawed golden dragon shook his head. "Just ants, don't worry about them." The crocodile turtle king leader, "Yes." Having obtained the life-type crystals, the five-clawed golden dragon persuaded them to leave, saying, "You go back first, I have other matters to attend to." Xiao Ye guessed that the two of them were going to try and find some rare and precious materials here. So he wanted to see what it was that could make the people of the City Lord's Mansion abandon life-type materials to obtain it. The alligator-snapping turtle clan returned in a grand procession, leaving no spies behind. The mythical level template of the five-clawed golden dragon could sense that no one else was watching except the 2 humans, so it transformed into human form. Xiao Ye and Xie appeared in midair. The 2 in human form also possessed the ability to fly, inherited from the five-clawed golden dragon. Mu Kingsu and Xiao Ye swam towards the empty lighthouse jellyfish territory and began their detection. Gigante was puzzled. "Zuier, those 2 annoying guys are still here. We could have waited until they left before coming over." Mu Kingsu knew Xiao Ye would be present and retorted, "Detecting the heart of the secret realm is more important. We only have 1 day." Gigante wisely shut up. Buzz buzz buzz. The detection instrument beeped. Mu Kingsu's beautiful eyes lit up with joy. Finally found it. Chapter 165 Spatial Rift, Spatial Passage. Xiao Ye and Xie appeared before them. Since it was a treasure hunt, Xiao Ye didn't want to miss it, nor did he want to let Mu Kingsu and Xie get away with it. Gigante stepped forward, blocking their path, and frowned. "Why haven't you left yet? Trying to stick around us?" Xie scoffed. "The lighthouse jellyfish clan's territory was conquered by the crocodile turtle under our orders, so it's essentially our territory. You're the ones who should leave." Xiao Ye, while keeping an eye on Mu Kingsu, retorted sarcastically, "I remember someone saying not long ago, he goes his broad road, we go our narrow bridge, and we'll never see each other again." He glanced around the lighthouse jellyfish clan's territory. "This is our narrow bridge." "What? You're abandoning your own broad road and insisting on coming to our narrow bridge? You said you'd never see each other again, and you're the one shamelessly following us. Aren't you shameless?" Xiao Ye's words were sharp and cutting, making Gigante's face turn red, his fists clenched, veins bulging. "Shameless? Shameless?" These words echoed in Gigante's mind, making him furious. "You fucking asking for death?" he roared angrily, about to attack. Xiao Ye tripped him with a right kick, sending him sprawling face first into the mud. "You fucking bastard, you trash bastard," the guy cursed. He figured Xiao Ye and the other guy wouldn't dare do anything to him, so since he couldn't beat them, he could only resort to verbal abuse. Hearing the vulgar words, Xiao Ye's lips twitched, a little angry. "You shouldn't have a mouth." Crack. Xiao Ye cracked his knuckles, ready to give him a good beating. But just then, something new happened with Mu Kingsu. Mu Kingsu took out 4 items, a set of clothes, a round sphere, a sharp prop, and a blue prop. Holding the sharp prop, she raised her small hands high and then plunged it forward fiercely. Swoosh! A strange light blade shot out from the sharp prop, slicing towards the seawater. As the blade fell, the seawater and even space itself hissed and cracked. A special rift started from scratch and gradually expanded, though not quickly. Mu Kingsu's pretty face lit up with joy. She had succeeded. As long as the special rift opened, she could smoothly enter the heart of the secret realm. Xiao Ye abandoned his idea of beating up Ji Gangte and flashed towards Mu Kingsu. Ji Gangte panicked. "You son of a bitch, you son of a bitch. You piece of trash, if you have the guts, come at me. Is it even manly to go after a woman?" He cursed as vehemently as possible. He sped up his verbal attack and tried to stand in front of Xiao Ye, trying to stop him. But Nangong Xiao wouldn't let him succeed. She flashed in front of Ji Gangte, grabbing his neck and lifting him up, coldly saying, "Xiao Ye is right, you really shouldn't have a mouth. You little wench, you'd better put me down. My father is the Grand Commander of the Magic Capital Base City." Ji Gangte. Slap. The robust young woman, Nangong Xiao, slapped him across the face with full force, knocking out several of his teeth and swelling his right cheek. "Grand Commander. PFFT. Ji Gangte spat out blood mixed with his teeth, a look of humiliation on his face. He had actually been slapped by a woman younger than him. How could his pride tolerate this? "You." Just as Ji Gangte was about to utter some harsh words, Nangong Xiao slapped him again. This time, it was his left cheek. PFFT. He spat out another mouthful of blood mixed with his teeth, his left cheek also swelling high. His entire face was swollen, looking like a pig's head. "Stop it, I'm sorry." Seeing Nangong Xiao's icy gaze, Ji Gangte cowered and immediately admitted defeat, but his words were muffled by the disproportionate redness and swelling of his face. Nangong Xiao thought he was cursing again, and with a bang, she punched him in the eye, giving him a black eye. "You little rascal, I've been cheated on." Ji Gangte cried, on the verge of tears. Nangong Xiao's beautiful eyes widened. Still cursing? She even called him a shrimp? Then she punched him in the other eye, turning both eyes into black eyes. Ji Gangte's face was contorted with grief, both angry and helpless. This trip to the secret realm was definitely a stain he could never erase from his life. "Stop it, I'm sorry." He tried to explain. Nangong Xiao was furious. This guy actually called her a chicken. "You're the chicken, your whole family are chickens." With a loud boom, the plump young woman channeled her inner energy and struck his nose. With a crack, the bone shattered, and Ji Gangte fell to the ground like a dead dog, embedding himself in the seawater. Realizing he couldn't speak clearly and that sound traveled poorly underwater, Ji Gangte wisely shut his mouth in pain. Just then, Xiao Ye called out to her. "HMPH." Nangong Xiao's pretty face still showed anger. She glared coldly at Ji Gangte, then angrily kicked him twice before heading to Xiao Ye's side. "That trash is ridiculous. Calling me a shrimp or a chicken." Nangong Xiao complained to Xiao Ye. Ji Gangte, who heard her words from afar. In front of Mu Kingsu and Xiao Ye, a 2-meter-high and half-meter-wide special rift was formed. Unlike typical violent and unstable special rifts, this one didn't leak any energy or attack. Nangong Xiao's beautiful eyes widened in curiosity. "What's this?" Mu Kingsu glanced at the two of them provocatively, her rosy lips curving into a playful smile. "The gateway to the heart of the secret realm. If you're not afraid of being killed by the special blades in the special passage, feel free to follow." With that, she leaped lightly into the special rift. Nangong Xiao frowned. "Xiao Ye, it's dangerous in here. Should we go in?" Xiao Ye took out a blue special shield item he had obtained from Xie from his system space and smiled. "Let's go. The heart of the secret realm, there must be good things in the core space of this kind of secret realm. We can't let that woman have them for nothing. With this protective item, the special blades won't hurt us." If there was any danger, this special shield would be enough to ensure their safe arrival. Nangguangxiao nodded. Then, the two of them stepped into the special rift one after the other. Everything went black, and they found themselves in a passage filled with raging special blades. This passage could be crossed with just one step. Boom! Thousands of special blades swept in from all directions, 360 degrees, leaving no blind spots. The blue special shield shattered instantly, transforming into a protective shield that adhered to Xiao Ye's skin, blocking all the special blades. The special blades possessed the damage of a Supreme Realm expert, but they hadn't yet reached the level of a low-level Supreme Realm's full-force attack. However, Xiao Ye's expression darkened. This spatial shield could only protect him. What about Nangguangxiao? If she were hit by a special blade that could damage at the Supreme Realm level, she would surely die. Chapter 166 Mengxuan, look again and I'll gouge out your dog eyes. Xiao Ye looked back. Just as Nangguangxiao stepped into the special passage, countless special blades slashed towards her. A flash of white light, and the small kunpeng pendant hanging on Nangguangxiao's chest shattered, instantly teleporting her away. The small kunpeng pendant was a life-saving item, also a reward from Yangxi for the massage. Xiao Ye had Nangguangxiao and the other woman wear it close to their bodies at all times. Of course, he also wore a small kunpeng pendant on his chest. Phew. Xiao Ye breathed a sigh of relief. It was good that Nangguangxiao was alright. But then, he gritted his teeth in anger. This spatial shield was supposed to be a single-person shield. He had thought it would form a circular energy shield a few meters around him, protecting multiple people simultaneously, but instead, it formed a protective shield on his skin. What kind of strange thought process did Yangxi have to design such a bizarre protective item? Xiao Ye looked down and, oh dear. His clothes had been completely torn off by the special blades. He hurriedly took out a pair of shorts from his system space and put them on. He'd just put it on when the special blade ripped it clean again. Xiao Ye. Helpless, he had no choice but to remain naked and step out of the special passage. A flash of white light. He appeared in a dark space, a space without sky, land, or anything else, just a vast expanse of darkness. Without the special blade, it seemed safe. Stepping on the void felt as solid as stepping on solid ground. Looking around, near the center of the space in the distance, a pale figure was holding a round object, doing something to a huge mass of chaotic energy at the center. Xiao Ye's gaze sharpened, a look of astonishment on his face. It was Mengxuan, completely naked, her delicate, fair skin and curvaceous figure clearly visible from afar. Of course, since her back was turned, he couldn't see anything substantial. Xiao Ye took out a pair of shorts from his system space and put them on. He wasn't in the habit of showing skin. After getting dressed, Xiao Ye sprinted over and shouted, "Put that thing down, let me handle it." If he didn't act soon, this good thing would be taken by Mengxuan. A hint of helplessness flashed across Mengxuan's beautiful face. Just as the prophecy had foretold, this guy had indeed come to the heart of the secret realm with her. With a whoosh, Xiao Ye reached out to grab the huge mass of chaos, but grabbed nothing. Mengxuan said smugly, "You troublesome guy, you don't even know what this thing is. What are you doing in the heart of the secret realm?" Xiao Ye scratched his head. He really didn't know what it was. The heart of the secret realm, something that could only be accessed at a high level, had no information about it in the school's public library. It was probably only found in the library of a major power. Out of curiosity, Xiao Ye carefully examined the round, glowing device in Mengxuan's hand. This thing emitted thin threads of energy, wrapped around the chaotic mass, seemingly performing some kind of special ritual. Looking at the chaotic mass, he pointed to the round thing and asked, "What's this?" Mengxuan looked in the direction he was pointing and saw it was her private area. Mengxuan quickly turned her back and angrily said, "You better not look around, or I'll gouge out your eyes." Xiao Ye turned around and realized he was pointing in the wrong place. However, after glancing at it twice, a look of disdain flashed in his eyes. This? Not even as terrifying as the mature woman. Her long legs weren't as long as Chen Bixi's. Mengxuan was at most a golden ratio figure with very white skin, as white and shiny as snowflakes that hadn't yet been polluted by the world. Mengxuan was stunned. This guy was actually disgusted? "You have an exhibitionist fetish, huh? If you don't want me to see, then wear it." Xiao Ye curled his lips. Mengxuan turned her back, leaving only her back exposed to Xiao Ye's view. Her beautiful eyes were filled with disdain as she said, "This is the heart of the secret realm. The storage space is completely unusable. Do you even understand? Exhibitionist? You think I want to be naked? I prepared a set of clothes before coming in, but they were all shredded to pieces by the special blades." Although she didn't curse, her tone gave the impression of speaking to an idiot. Xiao Ye. His lips twitched. He looked down at his shorts. His storage space, or rather, his storage ring, was unusable, but his system space was usable? Looking at the chaotic mass, Xiao Ye had a bold idea. Mu Qingsu sneered. Although she was standing there motionless, the circular instrument she was holding was constantly in operation, setting up a contract formation for the chaotic mass. In half a minute, she would successfully use the contract formation to make the core of the secret realm recognize her as its master and then use her. At that time, the entire heart of the secret realm, including the entire secret realm, would be at her disposal. I'll definitely teach that lecher a lesson then. He'll get his revenge for what he saw. Wait. Remembering something, Mu Qingsu suddenly turned around, her beautiful eyes immediately catching sight of Xiao Ye's large underpants over his leather drum. "You actually wasted a high-level defensive treasure," she exclaimed in astonishment. The city lord's mansion also had treasures that could provide her with protective clothing, but she had initially planned to enter the heart of the secret realm alone, so to avoid wasting a defensive treasure, she only brought the simplest protective shield, an energy shield that fits snugly against her skin. The round device had been taken out beforehand, its material was very sturdy and could withstand attacks from special blades. Xiao Ye remained non-committal, his gaze fixed on the chaotic mass. Collect. The chaotic mass didn't move. Mu Qingsu chuckled, disdainfully saying, "The rules of the heart of the secret realm are special. You can't use energy, intent, or spiritual power here at all. Collect? A waste of effort." Xiao Ye scratched his head, sensing it, and it was true. To collect items into the system space, one needs to either envelop them with mental energy or touch them. His mental energy, released just now, dissipated instantly. Then, Xiao Ye placed his hand on the chaotic mass, asking the system, thinking to himself, "Can you collect this thing?" The system didn't respond. But the next second, the chaotic mass vanished in a flash, leaving only wisps of special energy threads emanating from the circular device. The chaotic mass disappeared, and the circular device, having collected the special energy threads, emitted a buzzing shutdown sound. Mu Qingsu stared in disbelief at Xiao Ye. "You really collected it?" Xiao Ye shrugged. "Why ask me when you've already seen it?" Suddenly, his eyes widened. Because Mu Qingsu was facing him, with nothing obstructing her view, he saw the actual scenery. There were mountains and forests. Although not the entirety, it exuded a fatally alluring attraction. HMPH. With a chaos orb gone, Mu Qingsu tossed the circular instrument aside, her pretty face contorted with rage. She charged at Xiao Ye, coldly declaring, "Hand over the core of the secret realm, or you won't leave alive." She raised her right leg high, slashing at Xiao Ye with a nimble, powerful strike. Although she was only a 10th star grandmaster, she was a reincarnation of an ancient saint, having inherited some ancient techniques. She was confident she could easily overpower Xiao Ye using only her physical strength. However, Xiao Ye was the contractor of the mythical five-clawed Supreme Golden Dragon template, a venerable realm cultivator whose physical strength far surpassed that of an average SSS-level cultivator. Mu Qingsu's movements appeared to him like a jumbled frame, incredibly slow. Whoosh! Xiao Ye easily caught and grabbed her ankle, lifting it high, and laughed. "What did you say? I didn't hear you clearly. Say it again." Chapter 167 The core of the secret realm recognizes its master. Mu Qingsu's expression froze. This strike was originally a feint. Her real intention was to wrap her legs around Xiao Ye's neck, use her flexibility to throw him down, and then pin him to the ground to control him. But she hadn't expected that this feint would be caught by Xiao Ye. Mu Qingsu strained, trying to pull her legs back, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't break free from Xiao Ye's steel-like hands. "Let go." Mu Qingsu's beautiful eyes glared. Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile, and he shook his head. "You offered yourself up for the view, might as well take a look." He then gave her a few sharp glances. From this angle, he could see the whole thing. Mu Qingsu's pretty face flushed instantly. Being stared at by Xiao Ye's gaze made her feel tainted. "You just said I can't leave here alive?" Xiao Ye asked, still admiring the view. Mu Kingsu glared at him angrily, not answering his question but saying, "If you look at me again, I'm not done with you." She was truly angry. She had never suffered such humiliation, neither in her past life nor this one. Seeing that he had angered her, Xiao Ye didn't want to go too far, so he released her ankle. "I'm leaving, bye-bye." He then crushed the teleportation item. Surprisingly, the teleportation item didn't work. Xiao Ye wasn't teleported away. Mu Kingsu squatted down and rubbed her ankle, which hurt terribly from his grip. She glared at him, seeing he had no mercy. The rules of the Secret Realm Heart are special. Without power at the Supreme Realm level, you cannot leave. Even the Secret Realm Core you've put away cannot leave the Secret Realm Heart. If the Secret Realm Core leaves the Secret Realm Heart for too long, the entire Secret Realm will soon collapse. The Secret Realm space will crumble, returning to nothingness, and eventually disappearing completely, she explained. The Secret Realm Core referred to the chaotic mass. This. Seeing that she didn't seem to be bluffing, Xiao Ye frowned and fell into deep thought. Leaving with the Chaos Core would cause the Secret Realm to collapse. Releasing the Chaos Core would just give it to Mu Kingsu for nothing? Wait? Xiao Ye's gaze fell on the circular instrument floating in the void not far away, and his eyes lit up. Mu Kingsu had been watching him closely, and following his gaze, her expression became wary. Whoosh! In a flash, Mu Kingsu preemptively snatched the circular instrument, holding it to her waist, and said triumphantly, "Release the Secret Realm's core, or I'll destroy this contract formation device. Then neither of us will get the Secret Realm's core to recognize us as its master." She believed she had the upper hand this time, and that Xiao Ye would obediently release the Secret Realm's core. But she was wrong. Xiao Ye's face lit up with a bright smile as he approached her step by step, completely unhurried, saying indifferently, "Go ahead and destroy it. Whether I obtain the core of the Secret Realm and its recognition is unimportant. What's important is that your city lord's mansion cannot obtain the Holy Spirit's Secret Realm. The Holy Spirit's Secret Realm belongs to Yangxi." As he drew closer, Mu Kingsu grew anxious and shouted, "Stop right there. If you take another step, I'll really destroy it." Xiao Ye shrugged, continuing forward indifferently. A few more steps and he would be right in front of her. A ruthless glint flashed in Mu Kingsu's beautiful eyes. She gently tossed the circular device behind her. Then suddenly unleashed an ancient secret technique. All-word secret, instantly increases one's combat power tenfold after use. Boom. A sharp aura erupted from her fair and delicate body, a ruthless glint flashing in her beautiful eyes. "I can't use talent skills in the Secret Realm space. This time, I will definitely win." With a flash, she attacked Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye curled her lip. Even with her combat power increased tenfold, this level of attack and strength was still slow and weak. Slap. The moment her fist came, Xiao Ye perfectly dodged to the side and slapped her pert bottom. Mu Kingsu's beautiful eyes widened suddenly. She didn't believe it and kicked Xiao Ye in the waist. If it hit, it would probably hurt for days. "Didn't you eat? So slow, so weak." Xiao Ye perfectly dodged again and kicked her pert bottom, this time with great force. Mu Kingsu stumbled forward and fell into the air. She rubbed the spot where she was hit. Ouch! Xiao Ye picked up the round device, walked to Mu Kingsu and squatted down, saying, "Still haven't accepted reality? Want to have a few more moves?" Mu Kingsu's pretty face flushed. Then she glared at him with a look of disbelief. "You've corrupted me today. I'm not finished with you. I'm giving you the contract array device." Humph. She turned her flushed face away. Even someone as proud as her had backed down. Xiao Ye was dumbfounded. "Don't talk nonsense. When did I corrupt you?" Mu Kingsu snorted coldly without replying. Xiao Ye was speechless, but since she had backed down, he wouldn't press the issue further. So he took out a mature woman's nightgown from his system space and tossed it to her, then went to the side to study the so-called contract array device. Mu Kingsu's pretty face lit up with joy, and she hurriedly put on the nightgown. However, the size was too big, she couldn't fit into it. The image of Xiao Ye's disdainful gaze flashed through her mind, and for the first time, Mu Kingsu began to doubt her confident figure. Not far away, Xiao Ye was completely overwhelmed. This round device had over 100 buttons, and he recognized few of the symbols on them, let alone how to use them. He didn't know when he would figure it out himself. That guy. After dressing, Mu Kingsu seemed to have been fully revived, regaining her proud and aloof demeanor. Her noble and beautiful face was filled with arrogance, mixed with anger, but mostly shock. This Xiao Ye could not only change the predetermined future predicted by divination, but was also unafraid of the power eruption of the all-word secret, his physical strength completely overwhelming hers. Approaching him, when she saw Xiao Ye's worried expression, Mu Qingxi's beautiful eyes lit up, and the corners of her red lips unconsciously curled up. Seeing Xiao Ye humiliated made her very happy. "What are you looking at? Give me an instruction manual, or I'll take back my pajamas," Xiao Ye threatened. Mu Qingxi's pretty face stiffened. This guy might actually strip her. After hesitating for a few seconds, Mu Qingxi explained to Xiao Ye how to use the circular device. Xiao Ye's comprehension was amazing. He understood how to operate it after listening once. Buzz buzz buzz. He pressed the largest button and laughed. "It's so simple. Just activate it once, and it will automatically release the contract formation. Once the formation is complete, you can bind your soul to it with blood." The 100+ buttons were just for show. The circular device was a technological marvel made of special materials, with an automated program inside. Whoosh! The chaotic mass was released by Xiao Ye and floated back into space. Strands of special energy emerged from the chaotic mass, connecting within it. The contract formation would be complete in just half an hour. Xiao Ye turned and stared at Mu Qingxi suspiciously, saying, "Why are you being so kind?" Mu Qingxi blushed under his gaze and said irritably, "We can only leave after binding our soul to the core of the secret realm. We can't stay here forever." Chapter 168 Yangxi, my house was robbed. Seeing that she didn't seem to be lying, Xiao Ye was a little surprised. "Giving up already? Aren't you afraid that after I control the Holy Spirit's secret realm, I'll seal you in the heart of the secret realm?" he countered. Mu Qingxi glanced at him haughtily, disdainfully saying, "If you want to be targeted by the city lord's mansion, then seal me in." Xiao Ye. Time passed slowly. Not long ago, outside, in Villa Number 1 of the Lakeside Villa District of Kunpeng Academy. In the bathroom, Yunzai was soaking in a transparent bathtub. From a distance, a hazy, alluring body could be seen through the transparent tub walls. A strong life force permeated the bathroom, surrounding Yunzai. Her head resting against the tub, Yunzai frowned. After the last smear incident and letting Xiao Ye enter the Holy Spirit's secret realm, he shouldn't be angry anymore, right? Because of the extremely harsh attitude she had shown when she told Xiao Ye to stay away from Yun Bing, and the fact that he hadn't clearly expressed his stance before entering the Holy Spirit's secret realm, she was somewhat uneasy. Young people are so hard to figure out. So Yangxi took out her tablet, logged into the forum, and anonymously posted, "How to resolve a man's anger, how to verify if a man is still angry, a student is throwing a tantrum." She edited several posts and sent them out. Yangxi herself didn't realize that she cared so much about a student, even more than Yunbing. Many students in the college liked to post on the forum, and these posts quickly received many replies. How to resolve a man's anger. This older sister has come to the right place. "I'm an expert at resolving these kinds of minor conflicts between couples," commented a user. Yangxi's beautiful eyes lit up, and she replied, "Then, young man, how do you resolve it?" User, "Just give him an injection. See? This trick can definitely resolve any minor conflict." "An injection?" A question mark appeared on Yangxi's pretty face. "An injection? What kind of injection?" She hadn't paid attention to this kind of thing and didn't understand. At this moment, another user replied, 2121, 21121, suddenly, with a splash. A beautiful figure possessing a huge fruit descended from the sky, landing in the bathtub and falling into Yangxi's arms. "Ugh! So soft, am I in hell? This smells so good. I want to eat it." Nangguang Xiao's little head was buried in great terror, completely unaware of what was happening. Yangxi stiffened, quickly pushing Nangguang Xiao away, her brows furrowing as she said, "The little Kunpeng pendant automatically protects its owner. What did you encounter in the Holy Spirit's secret realm?" As she spoke, she flashed to the ground, donning a bulky white robe. Only then did Nangguang Xiao see her surroundings clearly, exclaiming, "Grandmother, Dean, hello." She then briefly recounted the events of the special passage. As she spoke, Nangguang Xiao sniffed the air, the fragrance in the air making her eyes light up. This fragrance seemed to be emanating from the tub. Glug glug. She bent down and drank several mouthfuls. Yangxi blushed and quickly pulled her out of the bathtub, away from the tub, and said coquettishly, "Are you a glutton? You eat everything. This is my bath water." The words caught in her throat. Nangguangxiao's face was full of confusion. Yes, I am a glutton. Why can't I eat it? It smells delicious. Xie scolded, really? This water is made from the essence of life matter and supreme realm energy liquid. You drank several mouthfuls at once. Do you want to explode and die? With a thud, Xie lightly slapped Nangguangxiao's perfectly toned abdomen. PFFT. Nangguangxiao involuntarily spat out several mouthfuls of water. This was what she had just drunk. A bath made from warm water created by fusing life matter with supreme realm energy liquid was a luxury only Xie and Yunbing could afford. Nangguangxiao only knew that this water seemed to have a strong attraction for her, her body cells seemed to crave it. One sip made her feel completely refreshed. Seeing Nangguangxiao's eyes constantly drifting towards the bathtub, Xie had no choice but to carry her to the living room and put the tub away. You stay here. That girl from the city lord's mansion wants to seize control of my holy spirit realm? She's asking for it. Xie's face turned cold. She'd given them free training opportunities to enter the holy spirit realm and fleece them, and these people wanted to fleece her completely? And not just fleece her, they wanted to steal her house? Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Although the holy spirit realm was just a bathtub to her, the city lord's mansion's behavior showed they didn't respect her, a top-tier supreme being. Xie, was not someone to be trifled with. Just now, blinded by her gluttonous nature, Nangguangxiao suddenly remembered Xiao Ye's predicament. Her face flushed with anxiety, she asked, Dean, how is Xiao Ye now? Is he alright? That special passage is too dangerous. You must save him. Xie's lips twitched, she rolled her eyes at her, and said, I'll go check. With a tearing sound, Xie pulled in front of her, creating a dark spatial rift, and then leaped into it. Nangguangxiao followed closely behind, leaping towards the spatial rift. But in an instant, the spatial rift vanished. Thump. Ouch! Nangguangxiao landed flat on her back on the hard floor, having not prepared herself for the fall, and it hurt quite a bit. Holy Spirit Secret Realm, heart of the secret realm. Nearly half an hour had passed since Xiao Ye activated the circular instrument. A strange array had formed around the chaotic mass, the circular instrument, and Xiao Ye. Mengxuan remained expressionless. Drip your essence blood into the contract formation to trigger the contract and make the core of the secret realm recognize you as its master. Xiao Ye had no doubts and directly condensed a drop of essence blood. But at that moment, with a thunderous roar, a tremendous pressure descended upon the heart of the secret realm, and at the same time, a chilling voice resounded, the core of the secret realm recognizing its master. Has it consulted me, the Kunpeng Supreme Xie? Chapter 169 The Lord of the Secret Realm, controlling the Holy Spirit Secret Realm. Xiao Ye and Mengxuan's expressions both changed. A pair of long legs stepped into the core space of the secret realm, and then Yunzai appeared behind them. In an instant, a spatial fluctuation emanated from her body. The entire core space of the secret realm was affected, the space solidified, and the chaotic mass, the contract array, the circular instrument, Xiao Ye, and Mengxuan all froze, unable to move. The essence blood condensed from Xiao Ye's fingertips also stopped in midair. Mengxuan was shocked. Freezing space meant she had mastered a trace of spatial rules, the threshold to the Saint Realm. This meant that Yunzai, this top-tier supreme being, was about to break through. In 200 or 300 years, the Dragon Kingdom would gain another Saint Realm expert. And a special Saint Realm expert at that, far more powerful than ordinary Saint Realm experts, capable of taking on two opponents at once. Xiao Ye was terrified. He could only move his eyes, the rest of his body was frozen, unable to move even a finger. His life or death rested on Yunzai's decision. He was now trying to seize Yangxi's possessions, the Holy Spirit Secret Realm. She wondered how Yangxi would react. Upon realizing the situation, a flicker of surprise crossed Yangxi's beautiful eyes. The circular instrument was clearly a product of the city lord's mansion. It wasn't Mengxuan performing the blood oath, but Xiao Ye. Mengxuan wanted the core of the secret realm, but Xiao Ye had snatched it. Yangxi quickly drew this conclusion. She waved her hand, releasing the special restraints on Xiao Ye. How are you? Xiao Ye stretched his limbs, his heart pounding with panic, but outwardly remaining calm. He smiled and said, Dean, you've arrived? Yangxi's eyebrows furrowed, her pretty face turning cold. Xiao Ye's heart pounded, feeling like it was in his throat. and his composure gradually froze. He had stolen her things, she clearly wasn't going to let him off the hook. Xie looked directly at Xiao Ye and said, "Don't call me Dean, call me Sister Xie." Xiao Ye was taken aback, then said, "Sister Xie." A smile returned to Xie's beautiful face. "Yes, I understand. Don't be nervous. Nangguang Xiao explained the whole story to me." Xiao Ye's rapidly beating heart returned to normal. He put away the drop of blood essence and smiled, "Sister Xie, you've come at the right time. The contract formation is complete. So, you can perform the blood oath now. Returning it to its rightful owner, the Holy Spirit's secret realm originally belonged to you." After saying that, he took a deep breath. His purpose in entering the Holy Spirit's secret realm was to obtain the resources for upgrading Cheng Bingxi's SSS-Level Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox template. 50 fragments of life type, 50 fragments of destruction type, and 50 fragments of creation type rules. Now, he had collected them all, and even far exceeded the original amount. Coming to the core of the Holy Spirit's secret realm was completely accidental and not part of his plan, so Xiao Ye did not feel disappointed at giving up control of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Xie's smile deepened upon hearing this, and she said, "I wasn't wrong about you, you're quite good. But that's not urgent, there's still a thief to deal with." A thief? Although she couldn't move, she could still hear their conversation, and a bitter feeling rose in Mu Qingsu's heart. Clearly, it was Xiao Ye who had undergone the blood oath. But their relationship was far from over, and they addressed each other so intimately. Obviously, the Kunpeng Supreme wouldn't hold Xiao Ye responsible. She, Mu Qingsu, had failed to obtain the core of the secret realm and ended up as a thief, caught red-handed by the very person in charge. Xie appeared above Mu Qingsu, looking down at her coldly, and said, "Little girl from the city lord's mansion, you haven't even grown your hair yet, and you're already acting like a thief. If word gets out, your city lord's mansion will be utterly disgraced." Having been lectured, Mu Qingsu had no way to express her bitterness. This operation was entirely her father Mu Cheng's impromptu idea. Xiao Ye wanted to say that she was all grown up. Xie waved her hand, releasing the special confinement from Mu Qingsu. Mu Qingsu lowered her head and said, "I'm sorry I didn't discuss it with you beforehand." She was a reincarnation of an ancient saint, the daughter of the city lord's mansion, and incredibly proud. However, faced with an aggressive quasi-saint, she wisely chose to bow her head. Circumstances forced her to act. She needed to leave this place quickly and return to her home, the city lord's mansion. HMPH. Xie snorted coldly, her gaze sweeping over Mu Qingsu. She was wearing a thin nightgown, but it didn't fit properly, clearly not her own. The nightgown was spotless and wrinkle-free, indicating it had just been put on. Furthermore, the storage ring within the heart of the secret realm had malfunctioned. Speculating, Xie glared fiercely at Xiao Ye, having once again had an unusual encounter with a stunning beauty. Sensing the sudden increase in the intense pressure emanating from Xie, Mu Qingsu said bitterly, "Dean Kunpeng, I will compensate you for this. I will make sure you are satisfied." Xie frowned. "Compensation? I need that?" Xiao Ye then spoke up, "Sister Xie, since she has apologized and is willing to compensate, why don't we just let it go?" Mu Qingsu gave Xiao Ye a grateful look. HMPH. Xie snorted. "Fine." Mu Qingsu's expression brightened. Then, Xie approached a contract array, glanced around, and said, "This girl is really generous. This kind of top-tier contract array is extremely rare, almost extinct on the market. Only a Supreme Realm Array Master can create it." As she spoke, Xie grabbed Xiao Ye's hand and gently sliced his palm, causing a gash to open. Hot, golden blood gushed out. Almost 2 liters of blood sprayed out, and Xiao Ye gasped in pain before she gently wiped it away, using special power to close the wound. Xiao Ye withdrew his hand, tucking it into his robes, and exclaimed in surprise, "Sister Xie, what are you doing?" Could it be that she wanted the Chaos Clan to acknowledge him as its master? But acknowledging a master only requires a drop of blood. A large mass of golden blood floated before Xie, radiating the allure of a high-level life form. The life level of this blood was comparable to that of an emperor. Gulp. Xie swallowed hard, she wanted to eat it. Then, she collected the golden blood, leaving only a single drop, and dripped it onto the contract formation. The contract formation emitted a dazzling white light. A sacred contract appeared in Xiao Ye's mind. At this moment, Xiao Ye felt a connection with the Chaos Clan. As the contract progressed, that connection grew stronger. He felt he could control the Chaos Clan. In the blink of an eye, the entire secret realm was reflected in his spiritual sea, and he could freely observe everything within it. In this instant, he saw Yang Junming and his contractor girl battling a raging Tyrannosaurus Rex beside the dried-up Red Lake. The next second, he saw hordes of crocodile turtle monsters on Crocodile Turtle Island. Finally, he saw himself, Mu Qingsu, and Yangxi in the heart of the secret realm. The authority of the Lord of the secret realm was far more than this. But Xiao Ye wasn't in a hurry to study it. Instead, he closed his mental vision and asked, Sister Yangxi, what do you mean by this? Giving me the Holy Spirit secret realm? Yangxi wouldn't admit that she had been in the golden blood. Whether the Holy Spirit secret realm acknowledges a master or not is the same to me. It's all my property. Acknowledging you as its master won't change anything. I only have 3 requests. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. 3 requests for a Holy Spirit secret realm. He'd made a profit. Tell me. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170 Bargaining, Huge Compensation. 1. I will come every year to collect some of the destructive and life-giving matter. Don't worry, I won't harm the magical beasts too. 3 free massages. 3. Send me 1 liter of golden blood every day. After making these demands, Yangxi felt her ears burning red. The first 2 demands were already comparable to the value of a Holy Spirit secret realm, and the third was completely excessive. Mu Qingsu, standing beside her, was extremely surprised. That's it? Although these 3 demands sounded a bit strange, were such simple requests really worth giving up a Holy Spirit secret realm? These demands were completely effortless. But Xiao Ye's next words stunned Mu Qingsu. Xiao Ye frowned and shook his head. I agree to the first demand. But for the second demand, I can only offer 1 free massage. The third demand? No way. 1 liter of blood every day. Are you trying to kill me? 1 liter a month is more like it. Mu Qingsu was astonished. This guy was actually haggling. Wasn't he afraid of angering the Kunpeng Supreme? Yangxi readily agreed, smiling, no problem. The Holy Spirit secret realm was naturally formed. She had simply released destructive and life attribute magical beasts to obtain life and destructive matter. Even though Xiao Ye controlled the Holy Spirit secret realm, she could still come and go freely, acquiring life and destructive matter at will. It wouldn't be a substantial loss for her. If she really cared about secret realms, she could find many unclaimed ones on the backside of the main space. But then Xiao Ye asked, puzzled, Sister Yangxi, what do you need the golden blood for? Xiao Ye understood his own physique. After the 5-claw golden dragon template upgraded, it had leveled up several times, changing his blood from red to brilliant gold. But he truly didn't know what the golden blood was for. Yangxi's gaze darted away, and she blushed slightly, not being good at lying, saying, to study why summoned beasts mutate. Xiao Ye nodded thoughtfully. Yangxi felt a little guilty. Study? She had no interest in research whatsoever. She was getting the golden blood to eat. A single drop of golden blood could uplift her spirits, making every cell in her body feel refreshed. 1 liter a month, she'd be rolling in it. Suddenly, Xiao Ye felt something pricking his waist. Turning around, he saw Mu Qingsu touching him with her finger, her face full of anticipation. How about you give me a liter of golden blood too? I'll buy it with crystal cores. 1 venerable realm crystal core for 1 liter, how about that? Slap. Xiao Ye slapped her hands away, flatly refusing, not for sale. What a joke. He didn't lack crystal cores, why would he need to sell his blood? HMPH. Fine, I won't sell. Don't act like I'm so envious. Mu Qingsu haughtily turned her face away. That was the end of it. Yangxi waved her hand, and instantly the scene changed, returning everyone from the heart of the secret realm to the city lord's mansion. Looking at the familiar hall, a smile appeared on Mu Qingsu's face as she hurriedly ran towards Mu Cheng on the main seat. But Yangxi only had a thought, her legs seemed to be stuck in mud, unable to move. City Lord Mu Cheng's expression changed, and he flashed to appear beside the two, saying in a deep voice, Kunpeng Supreme, what is the meaning of this? With that, He waved his hand, and Taoist energy surged forth, covering Mu Qingxu's legs, attempting to break the special freeze. However, 2 seconds later, his heart skipped a beat, and his expression turned grave. He couldn't break Yunzai's special freeze. Even among top-tier Supremas, there were differences in strength. He was clearly inferior to Yunzai. If the two were to face off, he would most likely lose. HMPH. Yunzai's pretty face was icy cold as she snorted, saying, "Don't think that just because you're from the city lord's mansion, you can steal other people's belongings at will. I've come here to demand an explanation and compensation. Otherwise, this little girl," Mu Chang's face darkened, and he looked at Mu Qingxu, giving her a knowing look. "Did you get the core of the secret realm?" Mu Qingxu thought he was asking about compensation, so she nodded helplessly. Ahem. Mu Chang's face lit up with joy. "It's just compensation, we've already paid." Yunzai's eyelids drooped. "Oh, how will you compensate me?" Mu Chang estimated the value of the Holy Spirit's secret realm, mainly the value of the 2 rare magical beasts inside, and then said, 1 low-level Supreme Crystal Core. 10 pieces of Supreme Level one-time use attack or defense equipment. Yunzai was a little surprised. So generous? Mu Qingxu's eyes widened. Her father was actually willing to compensate her with such precious things just to protect her. Xiao Ye gasped. So generous. No wonder it's the city lord's mansion. Mu Cheng tentatively asked, "Kunpeng Supreme, is that enough?" Yunzai held up one finger. "Add 10 top-level automatic contract instruments." Mu Cheng almost burst out laughing upon hearing this, suppressing his laughter as he said, "No problem." Because he was a master of formations, let alone 10, even 20 pieces, he could refine them in a short time. Then, he gave a wink to a steward beside him. 2 minutes later, the elderly butler handed over a stored ring placed in an exquisite gift box. Mu Cheng gestured for the butler to take it to Yangxi. After accepting the storage ring, Yangxi examined it and found a low-grade Supreme Crystal Core, 10 pieces of Supreme Level one-time use equipment, and 10 top-tier automatic contract devices. Xiao Ye leaned over and whispered, "Sister Yangxi, I caught that girl, so I deserve some credit. I should get a share of the compensation." Yangxi put the stored ring away, a smile appearing on her face. She said, "I can give you some, but not now. Later, you'll give me a massage, and I'll give you a piece of equipment." Xiao Ye. Giving it after a massage is payment, not a free gift. Xiao Ye decided to raise his massage prices from now on. Mu Cheng pulled Mu Qingxu, who had just broken free from the special freeze, aside, patted her shoulder happily, and laughed, "You did a great job. The value of the Holy Spirit's secret realm lies in those 2 types of magical beasts. With it, we've essentially monopolized these 2 types of magical beasts in the Dragon Kingdom. Nowhere else has them, only we do." Mu Qingxu looked completely bewildered, saying, "What Holy Spirit's secret realm?" It was intercepted halfway. Mu Cheng was stunned, incredulous. "You didn't get your hands on the Holy Spirit's secret realm?" Mu Qingxu nodded. "Attempted theft?" Mu Cheng's face darkened, this time as black as charcoal, without a trace of luster. At this moment, Yangxi and Xiao Ye were about to leave. The vast power within Mu Cheng erupted, and he angrily said, "You two, wait." If he really let the 2 of them leave like this, the city lord's mansion would truly suffer a huge loss. Yangxi's face darkened, and she directly called him by name, "Mu Cheng, as the city lord, do you intend to break your promise and go back on your word?" She couldn't return what she had already obtained. That was compensation from the city lord's mansion for coveting her things. Boom! A surging, spatial Taoist aura erupted from Yangxi's body, sweeping outwards like a raging sea. In an instant, the roof of the main hall was nearly ripped off, and the entire hall creaked as if it couldn't withstand the impact. A summoning stone appeared in her hand. Once crushed, she could single-handedly mobilize the power of the contract to activate the template and summon the top-tier Supreme Kunpeng Summoning Beast. Chapter 171 Yangxi, the Holy Spirit Realm does not belong to me. 2 different and fierce Taoist auras collided, forming a massive hurricane that swept outwards. Everyone in the hall nearly tumbled over. A beautiful figure appeared beside Mu Cheng. It was his contractor, his wife, Songzher. Songzher pressed down on Mu Cheng's shoulder, stopping him. "Mu Cheng, don't be impulsive." The elderly steward also spoke up, "City Lord, you can't go against the Kunpeng Supreme. The Kunpeng family has 2 supremas, making enemies is not worth it. Songzhe analyzed, our city lord's mansion was at fault first, paying more compensation won't be too shameful. HMPH. Mu Cheng snorted coldly, withdrawing his violent Taoist aura, and turned his face away, saying, if we let them go today, where will my city lord's mansion's face be? City lord's wife, Songzhe, smiled gently, I'll handle it. Mu Cheng was the city lord, every word and action had to consider the magic capital-based city. He was no longer the impulsive, hot-tempered youth he once was. Especially since it involves the Kunpeng Supreme, a sect with 2 supremas. Unless absolutely necessary, try to avoid pushing them into an adversarial relationship. Seeing that Mu Cheng was no longer aggressive, Yunzai also withdrew her outward Taoist aura and said coldly, Mu Cheng, why did you stop fighting? I was just about to learn from your skills as a master of formations. Mu Cheng turned his face away, not wanting to see her. The city lord's wife, Songzhe, with a faint smile, walked gracefully over, saying gently and politely, Supreme Yunzai, it was my Zuir who acted willfully in spite on your Holy Spirit's secret realm. I, Songzhe, apologized to you on Zuir's behalf. She bowed deeply. Not wanting to offend a smiling face, Yunzai said, Madam Song, hello. The city lord's wife, Songzhe, changed the subject, saying, since the compensation has been given, our city lord's mansion will naturally not go back on its word and take it back. However, I have a request. What request? Yunzai smiled. She understood that the compensation was far more than the cost of attempted theft. Lady Songzhe, the city lord's wife, asked, how about giving the city lord's mansion 2 more slots for the annual Holy Spirit secret realm training? Yunzai frowned. If it were before, I would have given them 2 more slots, but it's different now. The Holy Spirit secret realm is no longer in my hands, it's been claimed by someone else through blood reckoning. I can't make the decision. Lady Songzhe was stunned. City Lord Mu Cheng was astonished. Mu Kingsu's pretty face flushed. Mu Cheng turned to look at Mu Kingsu and asked, didn't you fail to obtain the Holy Spirit secret realm? What exactly happened? Mu Kingsu looked a little embarrassed and gave a rough account of what happened in the secret realm, but didn't go into details, such as Xiao Ye seeing her body and using the ancient secret technique, Xie. Mu Kingsu's voice wasn't loud, but everyone heard her. Instantly, everyone present, Mu Cheng, Songzhe, and the elderly butler, looked at Xiao Ye in shock. This guy actually defeated Mu Kingsu, the #1 prodigy of the magic capital-based city. And he even snatched the core of the secret realm from her. Xiao Ye, hands behind his back and head tilted at a 45-degree angle, said, yes, the Holy Spirit secret realm is now under my control, and I have already bound it to you with my blood. However, I'm not accepting your compensation. Want 2 more spots? No way. Mu Kingsu's face darkened, her teeth grinding. This guy had stolen her opportunity and was now acting arrogant. City Lord's wife, Songzhe, gave a meaningful look, scrutinizing Xiao Ye before glancing back and forth between him and Mu Kingsu. Mu Cheng's eyes widened, ready to explode. It was this little brat who had caught Zuir, which led to him being captured by the Kunpeng Supreme and then demanding compensation. Yunzai's slight smile froze. She hadn't expected Xiao Ye to be so oblivious to the situation, failing to know how to gracefully back down. The compensation she had received was clearly far more valuable than the loss from the attempted theft. Songzhe's offer of 2 more spots each year was meant to give everyone a way out, a clean break. 2 more spots were insignificant to the Holy Spirit secret realm. Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smirk as he quietly approached Yunzai, saying, Sister Yunzai, I didn't accept any compensation. It wouldn't be fair for me to give away 2 more spots for nothing, would it? Yunzai's face darkened. So Xiao Ye was after those compensations. Here. I'll give you a low-grade supreme equipment, she said through gritted teeth. Xiao Ye shook his head. Yunzai rolled her eyes at him, too. Xiao Ye remained unmoved. A dangerous glint flashed in Yunzai's beautiful eyes. 3. Xiao Ye held up one finger. Yunzai's eyes widened in disbelief. 10? Xiao Ye smiled. Yes, 10 8 supreme-level equipment and 2 top-tier automatic contract devices. He originally wanted 10 supreme-level equipment, but top-tier automatic contract devices were also rare. Although their effects weren't as good as equipment, they might come in handy later. HMPH. Yunzai pulled out a storage ring. Here. Xiao Ye accepted it with a delighted expression. Upon opening it, he found only 3 pieces of supreme-level equipment and 3 top-tier automatic contract devices. He immediately expressed his dissatisfaction, saying, "Sister Yangxi, this." Yangxi interrupted him, saying, "You've already accepted the items. If you don't reciprocate, and the city lord's mansion targets you, don't blame me." Looking at the bright look in her eyes, Xiao Ye's lips twitched. Ahem. At this moment, they were the focus of everyone's attention, and their conversation was being overheard. The city lord and his wife stared at the two of them with astonishment. This young man had a very close relationship with the Kunpeng Supreme. They didn't seem like students and teacher at all, but rather like close friends, haggling and pulling at the limit. Mu Qingxi gritted her teeth. This scene was so similar to the scene in the heart of the secret realm, where Xiao Ye bargained after the Kunpeng Supreme made 3 demands. In her mind, Xiao Ye was a scoundrel who wouldn't accept any loss and even liked to take advantage. This scoundrel, just seeing him makes me angry. Mu Qingxi thought to herself. Lady Songzhi, the city lord's wife, asked gently, "Handsome young man, what's your decision?" Xiao Ye hesitated for a moment. "I'm not called handsome young man, I'm called Xiao Ye. The city lord's mansion has 2 extra slots every year, I'll grant them." It had already been agreed that the Supreme family would give a pair of Grandmaster-level contractors one day each year to enter the Holy Spirit secret realm for training, so naturally, they would continue. Giving the city lord's mansion 2 extra slots was no problem. Grandmaster-level trainees posed no threat whatsoever to the life-type venerable-level magical beasts. They could only kill a few destruction-type Grandmaster-level dinosaur magical beasts, and besides, there was a 1-day time limit. They couldn't even complete a full run around the Holy Spirit secret realm, let alone kill a few magical beasts. Lady Songzhi smiled, and Yunzai smiled too. The dispute was resolved, and everyone was happy. Yunzai immediately took her leave. Suddenly, Mu Qingxi ran over, her teeth itching, and said to Xiao Ye, "Xiao Ye, you bastard, I'll definitely beat you next time." Xiao Ye replied, "Okay, I'll be waiting." Seeing his nonchalant attitude, Mu Qingxi became even angrier, her eyes glaring. Her appearance aroused Xiao Ye's teasing desire, and he leaned close to her ear and whispered, "Girl, your forest maintenance is exquisite." After saying that, Xiao Ye returned to Yangxi's side, and Yangxi waved her hand, and the two disappeared, leaving. Mu Qingxi was completely dumbfounded. What? Then she thought for a moment and realized what had happened, her pretty face turning bright red, and she angrily said, "Bastard, I'm going to kill you." Chapter 172 Mu Qingxi's furious outburst. At this moment, Mu Qingxi wished she could tear Xiao Ye to pieces. She was older than him, yet he called her a girl. Even worse was the latter half, exquisitely repaired. Yes, Mu Qingxi herself admitted it was indeed very exquisite, but did he need to say that? After shouting, she ran towards the city lord's residence. Mu Chang watched Mu Qingxi run away with a complicated expression. It was the first time he had seen his daughter so agitated, so he said, "This trip to the Holy Spirit secret realm, Zuir suffered repeated setbacks. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing." City lord's wife, Songzhi, said, "I think it's a good thing. Zuir is too arrogant. She's invincible among her peers, but recently she's been neglecting her cultivation, and her cultivation has stagnated for a while. Now, being defeated by a young man even younger than her will greatly inspire her ambition." City lord's residence. Xie Gangte, whose nose was broken, had recovered considerably after treatment, but his face was still bruised, his eyes were dark, and his nose was wrapped in bandages. Unable to contain his suffocation in the treatment room, he casually strolled along the main street of the city lord's mansion. Just then, 2 large guard squads approached, their captains being old acquaintances of Xie Gangte. "Hey, Xiao Tai, what happened to your face? Tisk, did you get beaten up?" they teased. Xie Gangte was the son of the first guard general and was quite familiar with him, so their jokes were quite casual. Xie Gangte's face flushed with embarrassment, but it vanished in an instant, replaced by an arrogant expression on his bruised face. "How could that be? Who am I? I'm Xie Gangte. I'm the one who beats others up. Who dares to beat me up?" The captain hesitated. "Then what about those dark circles and bruises on your face?" Ahem. Xie Gangte put his hands behind his back, his expression inscrutable. These are from when I single-handedly held off 2 venerable realm demonic beasts to cover for Zuir. Without my help, how could Zuir have successfully completed her mission? The 2 guard captains gave him a thumbs up. To withstand 2 venerable realm demonic beasts at the Grandmaster realm is the mark of a true prodigy. Even if he was badly beaten, escaping unscathed is something to be proud of. At this moment, Mu Kingsu stormed over from the main road, overheard their conversation, and immediately sneered, "Gigante, you'll die if you don't brag. Venerable realm demonic beasts, my foot. You were clearly beaten to pulp by 2 people. And what's the point of you blocking them? They still entered the heart of the secret realm and stole my opportunity." With another sneer, Mu Kingsu walked away, her eyes filled with disdain. The 2 captains of the guard team stared at Gigante with astonishment. "Tisk, you really did get beaten up. We're so familiar now. Tell me, who beat you up? I'm curious, who dares to shade on Xiao Tai's head like that?" Gigante's face darkened. He felt utterly humiliated. He tried to show off, but was exposed on the spot, right in front of his 2 close buddies. The 2 captains exchanged a glance, both seeing the mockery in each other's eyes. They each put their arms around Gigante's shoulders and pressed him for an answer. "If you're a good brother, tell us who that person is. Yet, if I have the chance in the future, I'd like to learn from him too." Gigante's face darkened even more. He could tell that his 2 buddies were suppressing their laughter. Cough cough. "I'm busy, I need to go back to the treatment room, let's talk another day." Gigante broke free from their grasp and ran away like a startled rabbit. As he fled, he could still hear the 2 captains calling out from afar, "Xiao Tai, don't go. Who's that person? Dizziness is nothing, why are you running away?" After saying that, they burst into laughter. Usually, Gigante was very arrogant and loved to show off, and seeing him get his comeuppance made them extremely happy. Mu Kingsu ran back to her villa and went to the training room. She took off her pajamas and changed into a black, form-fitting combat suit that perfectly accentuated her figure. Bang! 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 Beside a human-shaped punching bag, she relentlessly pounded it with her fists and kicks, venting her anger. Not satisfied, she stopped, took a piece of white paper, wrote Xiao Ye on it, and stuck it to the punching bag's face. A cruel smile appeared on Mu Kingsu's delicate face. Bang! She punched the punching bag in the face, denting its cheek. Bang! 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 Every punch and kick was delivered with full force. With each strike, she uttered a low shout, "Damn Xiao Ye, you stole my opportunity. Bang! Damn Xiao Ye, your gaze polluted my body. Bang! Damn Xiao Ye, what business is it of yours whether I'm refined or not, HMPH. Bang! Next time, I will definitely defeat you severely. Bang!" Half an hour later, the human-shaped sandbag was beaten beyond recognition, burst open, its fillings scattered all over the ground. Mu Kingsu clapped her hands in satisfaction, her fair face and forehead covered in fine beads of sweat. Most of her anger had subsided, and she began to think about her next plan. Her next goal was to advance to the Venerable Realm. To advance to the Venerable Realm, she needed to condense her power of intent into substance, achieving a qualitative transformation, and then forming a force, a domain. If she wanted, she could advance to the Venerable Realm at any time. But without sufficient preparation, she could only condense a low-level domain, so she thought of another opportunity, the Intent Crystal Cave. She would go to the Crystal Cave to comprehend and condense the strongest domain she could create. Defeating Xiao Ye would be a piece of cake then. The Hong family controlled the largest share of the crystal caves, and they possessed the most of the best ones. So, Mu Kingsu took out a communicator and dialed the Hong family's young master's number. After connecting, she explained her needs and offered to pay. Upon receiving his agreement, Mu Kingsu smiled. At the Hong family residence, where Hong Tao had just spoken to Mu Kingsu, his brows furrowed deeply. Almost a day had passed since entering the Holy Spirit's secret realm, but there was still no news of the 2 assassins he had arranged. They seemed to have vanished. They hadn't returned to the city lord's mansion, so there were 2 possibilities. One was that they had discarded their teleportation items and remained in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. This was less likely. The other was that they had perished in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Hong Tao deduced that they were dead. After he told his guest to the 300-pound fat woman who was his contractor, the fat woman's expectant expression suddenly changed, becoming somber and depressed. Chapter 173. It was Xiao Ye who killed the Hong family's assassins. The fat woman roared, "I don't care. I want to see them alive or dead. I'm fat enough already, I don't want to gain any more weight." This wasn't an era where fatness was considered beautiful, and recently her weight had shown signs of explosive growth. She was panicking and desperately needed destructive and life-gathering matter. Hong Tao rubbed his brow in worry. He also felt there was something very strange about the disappearance of the assassins. The assassins, carrying breakthrough potions and berserk potions, would definitely break through to the venerable realm first after entering the secret realm, and then harvest life-gathering and destructive matter to the maximum extent according to their plan. They would almost never encounter other trainees, and even if they did, they would selectively avoid them according to their plan to achieve maximum efficiency in their harvest. "Don't worry, let me ask about the situation," Hong Tao reassured him. Then he dialed Yang Junming's number. "What? The Hong family's prodigy is dead?" Yang Junming exclaimed on the other end of the line. Hong Tao nodded. "This is just speculation. Only you can contact them in the Holy Spirit's secret realm, so I'm calling to ask about the situation." Yang Junming fell silent. Yang Junming was indeed the only one who could contact Hong Jia Xianjiao, because he had a navigation wheel. Following the blue pointer, he could find Hong Jia Xianjiao in the secret realm. However, he had given the navigation wheel to Xiao Ye, and Xiao Ye had gone to find Hong Jia Xianjiao. Considering Xiao Ye's peak Grandmaster realm and terrifying combat power in the Holy Spirit's secret realm, Yang Junming was shocked. Hong Jia Xianjiao's death was very likely related to Xiao Ye. "Little Yang, do you know something?" Seeing him remain silent for a long time, Hong Tao sensed something was wrong and hurriedly asked. Yang Junming pondered for a moment and said, "I heard that a great battle of annihilation between two venerable realm demonic beast groups occurred in the sea area of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. It was a huge commotion, and the news spread far and wide. I suspect that Hong Jia Xianjiao's death might be related to this battle." Hong Tao frowned. "A battle of annihilation? Then do you know which two races it was?" In the Assassin's harvesting plan, the plan to harvest life matter specifically targeted the relatively weak lighthouse jellyfish demonic beast group. Yang Junming recalled the words of the arrogant young man, Ji Gangte, and said, "It was the alligator turtle clan and the turtle jellyfish clan. I heard that the battle was earth-shattering, and the turtle jellyfish clan was completely wiped out by the alligator turtle clan." This was said personally by Ji Gangte, the prodigy of the city lord's mansion. He witnessed the whole thing from afar, so it's highly likely to be true. The turtle jellyfish clan was completely wiped out. Hiss. Hong Tao gasped. As far as he knew, the turtle jellyfish clan numbered 400 or 500, with more than 300 above the venerable realm and dozens at the great venerable realm. Although they didn't have any supreme realm members, they were still a behemoth in the magic city. They were actually wiped out by the alligator turtle clan. "I understand," Hong Tao sighed. The Hong family's assassins were most likely caught in the crossfire of this annihilation battle and died on the spot before they could escape. Then, Hong Tao and Yang Junming discussed the matter of recruiting Xiao Ye. "The plan has changed. Xiao Ye is on the Hong family's death list. What you need to do now is figure out Xiao Ye's habits and weaknesses, and then I'll formulate a specific plan. After it's done, you'll get your share of the benefits." Yang Junming's expression changed upon hearing this. It was true that he and Hong Tao had a good relationship, but after interacting with Xiao Ye these past few days, Xiao Ye had unknowingly helped him, bringing him closer to his contractor, Hong Yun. Moreover, Xiao Ye had even saved his life in the secret realm last time. He felt that Xiao Ye was a person of good character, very charismatic, and someone very worthwhile to befriend. So before this, he had already considered becoming true friends with Xiao Ye. But now you're telling him to figure out Xiao Ye's habits and weaknesses, and then formulate a plan to kill him? Why is he on the Hong family's death list? Yang Junming asked, frowning. He was the son of the Supreme One, not Hong Tao's lackey. The two interacted frequently and often cooperated, but that didn't mean he could do anything for him. Hong Tao sensed something was wrong. The Yang Junming of the past wouldn't have asked so many probing questions, he would have just offered any benefit. Xiao Yang, you don't actually want to befriend Xiao Ye and become sworn brothers with him, do you? Hong Tao asked incredulously. Yang Junming, skilled at smooth talk and quick to grasp the situation, chuckled, how could that be? I'm just curious. Last time you said you wanted to win over Xiao Ye, And now just a few days later you're saying Xiao Ye's on your family's death list. This change is too fast. I'm quite surprised. Hong Tao breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. It concerns the grudges of the previous generation. It's hard to explain the specifics, but just do as I tell you. Beep beep beep. Looking at the disconnected call, Yang Zhenming fell into deep thought, his heart filled with conflict. On one side was Hong Tao, and on the other was Xiao Ye, the first person in his life he'd ever considered befriending. Meanwhile, after hanging up on Yang Zhenming, Hong Tao found Xie Gangtai's contact number in the family database. He dialed it, and it connected. So it's the young master of the Hong family, Mr. Hong. Hello. Xie Gangtai said. Hong Tao recounted the deaths of the Hong family's prodigies, then asked you if he knew anything about them or the genocide war. Dead? Xie Gangtai was also surprised. Died in the genocide war? He hadn't seen any of the Hong family prodigies. After a moment's thought, he said, sorry, I didn't see them. I recommend you ask Xiao Ye of Kunpeng Academy. He knows better than I do. The genocide war started because of him. Xie Gangtai intentionally pushed Xiao Ye into the limelight. He hated Xiao Ye so much that he was happy to see him targeted by the Hong family. Besides, he was telling the truth, not fabricating it. Xiao Ye was indeed the instigator of the genocide war. Hong Tao's face darkened. Xiao Ye, the deaths of the assassins were actually related to Xiao Ye. Hanging up the communication, Hong Tao's expression was grim. From his questioning, he could roughly deduce that while the Hong family assassins were harvesting life essence, the two races started the genocide war. The assassins didn't have time to escape and were caught in the crossfire and died. Xie Gangtai said the start of the extermination war was related to Xiao Ye. That meant Xiao Ye started the extermination war, unintentionally causing the Hong family's assassins to die. Xiao Ye killed our assassins, he said, turning to the fat woman. Is that the kid you said you wanted to recruit last time? The fat woman asked. Hong Tao nodded. The fat woman was furious. Recruit my ass. I'm telling you, Hong Tao, you immediately send someone to kill this trash. Kill him. You must kill him. Hong Tao's eyes were fierce. But this must be done step by step. The fat woman grabbed his collar, lifted him from the ground, and angrily said, no, I want him dead now. Hong Tao, you're getting worse and worse, even killing someone is so slow. Being looked down upon by his contractor wife, Hong Tao glared and made up his mind, okay, I'll arrange it right away. He thought of the city lord's daughter, Mu Qingsu, who had asked him for the intent crystal cave for cultivation 10 minutes earlier. Hong Tao decided to use Mu Qingsu. While Mu Qingsu was cultivating in the crystal cave, he lured Xiao Ye inside and injected the air with a top-grade aphrodisiac, a drug that would poison even a great venerable realm expert. Aphrodisiac, a drug that forces men and women to have sex. After they were both poisoned and had intercourse, he sent men into the cave, using the pretext of apprehending the rapist from Mu Qingsu, to kill Xiao Ye. Afterwards, if the Kunpeng Supreme investigated, the Hong family could use the city lord's mansion as a shield. Chapter 174 The Shidin Yunxi. The problem was how to lure Xiao Ye to the crystal cave. Should he simply knock him out and throw him in? Under the very nose of the Kunpeng Supreme of Kunpeng Academy, knocking Xiao Ye unconscious, taking him away, and dumping him in the crystal cave would be extremely difficult. The best way was to get Xiao Ye to go to the crystal cave willingly. After much deliberation, Hong Tao decided to pay a price. The crystal mine was naturally formed underground, covering a vast area. Near the Magic City base, the Hong family held the largest share, making them the largest producer of crystals in the Magic City base. It could be said that the crystal mine brought the Hong family 40% of their financial revenue. The profits were comparable to the revenue from the Hong family's martial arts schools scattered throughout the country. Hong Tao decided to open the crystal mine, offering each Supreme 2 free slots, similar to the Holy Spirit's secret realm, allowing each Supreme to send a pair of contractors to mine crystals. He also announced that crystal essence had been created within the crystal mine. The essence of the conception crystal, as the name suggests, is the essence gathered from the veins of the conception crystal. It is of a higher grade and more effective than the original conception crystal, almost 10 times more potent. Using the essence of the conception crystal, they planned to lure Mu Qingsu and Xiao Ye into a cave and then execute their plan. Having finalized the plan, Hong Tao immediately took out his communicator, began spreading the message, and arranged for personnel to deploy. Meanwhile, Xiao Ye and Dean Yangxi returned to Villa Number 1, the Dean's Villa. Xiao Ye, don't forget the 3 requests you promised me, Yangxi said slowly, her long legs propped on the table, leaning lazily against the sofa. Xiao Ye felt thirsty and looked for teaware in the living room, only to find a single teacup on the table. Yangxi glanced at him and said, use that cup. Xiao Ye didn't hesitate and poured himself a large cup of water from the only available cup on the table, gulping it down. Yangxi wanted to remind him that the cup hadn't been washed, but he'd already finished it. Xiao Ye patted his stomach and sat down opposite him. Sister Yangxi, I asked for 8 pieces of equipment and 2 instruments, but you only gave me 6. Hurry up and hand over the rest, or else those 3 requests, Yangxi remained unmoved, not even lifting an eyelid, her tone indifferent and dismissive. You dare not give it? Then try. Xiao Ye. He really didn't dare not give it, otherwise Yangxi would definitely forcibly take back the Holy Spirit's secret realm and give him a good beating. Suddenly, a glint of brilliance appeared in Xiao Ye's deep, star-like eyes, and he said, I will definitely fulfill your request, but the 3rd request is 1 liter of golden blood per month. I will give it to you at the very last minute of each month. It's not that I won't give it, you can't exactly draw the blood yourself, can you? Besides, in the heart of the secret realm, you took about 2 liters of my blood. These 2 liters will offset the next 2 months, which means that from now on, I will only provide you with 1 liter at the end of the 3rd month. Golden blood? A single drop would bring her immense pleasure. Upon hearing this, Yangxi's entire demeanor changed. Her languid air vanished instantly, and a hint of anxiety appeared on her beautiful face as she retorted. How can those 2 liters count? You must provide me with 1 liter of golden blood this month. Xiao Ye realized that the golden blood seemed very important to Yangxi, and a smirk appeared on his lips. I don't care, I've already given you 2 liters. Sister Yangxi, as the dean, you can't just make excuses. Yangxi's face darkened, and she gritted her teeth. It was the first time she had ever seen Xiao Ye act so mischievously. Xiao Ye changed the subject, stating his own demands. Sister Yangxi, those 2 liters don't matter, but you must give me 4 little kunpeng pendants. I don't need the equipment and instruments. Compared to the compensation offered by the city lord's mansion, Xiao Ye felt that the little kunpeng pendants, which could save lives, were far more practical. In the event of mortal danger, they could teleport someone away unharmed. This life-saving pendant had saved Nangguang Xiao's life in the Holy Spirit's secret realm. I'll give it to you. Yangxi gritted her teeth and pulled out 4 small kunpeng pendants from her pocket. Their functions are the same as the ones I gave you last time. Xiao Ye happily accepted them. Then, to Yangxi's astonishment, he made a stroke on his right palm with his finger, and with a poof, golden blood gushed out, spraying into the empty water glass. The glass held exactly 1 liter. After filling it, Xiao Ye, his face pale, withdrew his hand and used the wood element controlled by the 5 elements to heal the wound in seconds, restoring him to full health. Yangxi stared in astonishment. You just gave it to me like that? Xiao Ye smiled broadly, his face still pale. This is for this month. Sister Yangxi is generous, so I can't be stingy. Including the 2 liters from the Holy Spirit's secret realm, he had already given away 3 liters of blood. In his previous life on Earth, the normal range for blood donation was 200 to 400 milliliters, with a maximum of 400 milliliters. He had lost 3 liters of blood. If it weren't for his robust physique and the healing and blood regenerating properties of the wood element within him, he probably would have died. He noticed a drop of golden blood on his finger and pulled out a tissue to wipe it off. Just then, Yangxi appeared before him, saying, "Let go of it, let me do it." She instinctively reached out to suck it up. But halfway through, Xiao Ye blocked her with his other hand against her fair forehead, exclaiming in surprise, "Sister Yangxi, you don't mean to eat it, do you?" Yangxi blushed, realizing her mistake, and excitedly protested, "How could I? I'm for research, not for eating." The blood of a higher life form made every cell in her body feel thirsty, almost causing her to embarrass herself. In a flash, she reached out and dabbed at the drop of golden blood, saying shyly, "Xiao Ye, I'm going into seclusion. You should leave." With a wave of her hand, Xiao Ye saw a flash of white light and instantly found himself on the main road outside the villa. "How bizarre," he muttered, heading towards Villa number 10 in the 3-character Lakeside Villa district. He had finished collecting the upgrade resources for the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox template and was going back to upgrade it for his good friend Cheng Bingxi. Inside the dean's villa, Yunzai sensed Xiao Ye's departure, and her pounding heart finally began to calm down. She had blushed to her ears, feeling incredibly embarrassed. She had actually made a fool of herself in front of Xiao Ye. After finally calming down, Yunzai's gaze fell on the drop of golden blood on her pale index finger, and her heart began to pound uncontrollably again. Finally unable to resist her desire, she opened her pink lips, took her index finger into her mouth, and sucked hard. After being absorbed by her body, every cell in her body went berserk, vying for the mysterious energy contained within the golden blood. At that moment, she felt like an innocent little girl enjoying a lollipop, her whole being filled with joy. After a while, the drop of golden blood was completely digested, and the sensation receded quickly like the tide. Yangxi's attention shifted to the glass filled with shimmering water, her beautiful eyes sparkling with anticipation, and she lunged forward. Chapter 175 Cheng Bingxi, the Waiting for Husband Stone. Glug glug. Picking up the cup filled with golden blood, Yangxi gulped it down, emptying it in seconds. Her entire body's cells frantically absorbed the mysterious essence within the golden blood, countless cells vying for it. After absorbing the mysterious essence, Yangxi felt extremely comfortable, inside and out. A joyful expression appeared on her exquisitely beautiful face. HMPH, she unconsciously hummed. 10 minutes later, the golden blood was fully digested, and Yangxi licked her lips. Whether it was an illusion or not, her deeper understanding of spatial power, which had been vague, became clearer. In just those 10 minutes, her realm had advanced another step. The Saint Realm, condensing an elemental body and an attribute body, and to advance to the Saint Realm, she needed to continuously deepen her understanding of spatial power, evolving her body into a spatial body. Golden blood, it has this effect. Yangxi covered her mouth with her hand, utterly astonished. The mysterious essence contained in the golden blood accelerated the evolution of her spatial body. Although it was only a trace, it saved her 2 or 3 years. In her estimation, the transition from supreme to quasi-saint, and from quasi-saint to saint, the quasi-saint stage would take at least 200 or 300 years. But now, the golden blood could greatly accelerate the condensation speed and greatly shorten the transition period. If the golden blood energy could be continuously supplied, the effect would be almost comparable to the crystallization of rule fragments, and even easier to absorb. Beep beep beep. Yangxi's communicator received a message. Opening it, she saw that it was a message from Hong Tao, the young master of the Hong family. The Intent Crystal Training Ground will be open for 3 days tomorrow. Respected Kunpeng Supreme Dean Yangxi, you have 2 free spots. If needed, please bring your trainees to train at noon tomorrow. Realm restriction, Grandmaster Realm, Yangxi frowned. The artifact crystal mine is an underground vein teeming with ethereal and magical creatures. These creatures exist between the real and the illusory, able to traverse the land and the crystal mine. The denser the artifact crystals, the greater the number of ethereal creatures. Their strongholds even contain the essence of artifact crystals. Meanwhile, in Villa number 10 of the 3-character Lakeside Villa District, Cheng Bingxi, possessing incredibly long legs, stood motionless on the balcony, her beautiful eyes filled with worry and anticipation as she gazed at the gate of the courtyard, like a statue waiting for her husband. Nangguang Xiao called out from the living room, Sister Bingxi, those spatial blades in the spatial passage can't hurt him. Xiao Ye is safe now, don't worry. Leah, with her legs crossed, ate a fiery red ghost pepper and chili pepper after chili pepper, echoing, that's right, Xiaoxi, don't worry. How could he get into trouble in the Dean's secret realm? Nangguang Xiao said helplessly, the resources for the template upgrade have been gathered. We can upgrade it as soon as Xiao Ye comes back. After she returned, she told the 2 women what happened in the secret realm and shared the good news with Cheng Bingxi. However, Cheng Bingxi's attention was focused on Xiao Ye's danger. She said she wouldn't be at ease until she saw Xiao Ye return safely. So Cheng Bingxi had been standing on the balcony for over an hour, her long legs were numb. But she remained unmoved. Cheng Bingxi bit her lower lip, thinking to herself, if I had known it was this dangerous, I wouldn't have let you go even if we weren't upgrading the template. For 3 years of high school, as Xiao Ye's deskmate and best friend, she accompanied him from his youthful days to his adulthood, and now to his mature self, witnessing his growth from weakness to strength. Xiao Ye had already occupied an unshakable corner of her heart. Suddenly, the courtyard gate opened, and a handsome, tall man entered under the bright sunlight. He grinned, revealing 2 rows of white teeth, and smiled at her. Cheng Bingxi's pretty face lit up with joy, and all her worries vanished. She did a backflip and jumped off the balcony, throwing herself into Xiao Ye's arms. "You're finally back. I was so worried." "Yeah, I'm back." Xiao Ye rubbed her face with his hands, surprised. "Hey, why are your eyes red? It's not because of me, is it? If that's the case, I'll have to make it up to you." He emphasized the word "make it up to you." Cheng Bingxi puffed out her cheeks and said, "Of course not. I just ate some chili peppers and got diarrhea." Humph. She was so worried about him, and he still had the mood to tease her. Xiao Ye suddenly paused, saying, "Why are you touching me like that?" Cheng Bingxi's small hands were squeezing here and there. Could it be that she really wanted to make amends? Cheng Bingxi snorted, "I'm just touching a contractor, what's wrong with that?" 2 minutes passed before her hands stopped moving, and she breathed a sigh of relief. No external injuries. It seems that the special attack really didn't hurt him. Xiao Ye had been touched all over, and he felt even more that Cheng Bingxi needed to make amends, so he decided to find an opportunity to make it up to her properly. Then the two went into the house and came to the living room on the 2nd floor. Nangguang Xiao and Liu were not too surprised to see Xiao Ye return unharmed, and they naturally started chatting. Liu handed him a ghost pepper with a spiciness level of over 100, and asked curiously, "Did you really collect all the upgrade resources for the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox template?" Xiao Ye hurriedly pushed the ghost pepper away and pushed it in front of Cheng Bingxi. He wasn't at the Great Venerable Realm yet. If he ate this, he would get hemorrhoids. He nodded in response. "Yes. Bingxi's template will be upgraded soon." "Teaching assistant, have you checked the gathering place of the mystical attribute monsters?" Xiao Ye asked. To extract the mystical rule fragment crystals needed to upgrade the mystical cat template, one must go to the gathering place of mystical monsters. Liu frowned. "I checked. Mystical attribute monsters generally live in various crystal mines. The larger the crystal mine, the more mystical monsters there are. However, crystal mines are assets controlled by major families and are strictly managed by them. They cannot allow unauthorized personnel to enter. But in terms of quantity, the Hong family's intent crystal mine has the most." Xiao Ye rubbed his temples. "That's troublesome." At this moment, Cheng Bingxi cried out, her small mouth slightly swollen from the spiciness, her face flushed red, and she kept blowing air. "It's so spicy, so spicy. Water, I want water." Just now, Xiao Ye pushed the devil pepper with a heat level of 100 to her, and she ate it without warning. The result was this appearance, as if her mouth was about to breathe fire. Xiao Ye, Liu Yan, and Nangguang Xiao were all shocked. "You actually ate it?" Liu poured her a glass of water, which Cheng Bingxi drank in gulps before feeling a little better. Looking at her swollen little mouth, Xiao Ye chuckled and mobilized the surrounding wood elements to heal her and reduce the swelling. A minute later, the farce ended, and Cheng Bingxi recovered completely. "Alright, let's start upgrading the template now." Xiao Ye waved his hand, and a glowing circular halo appeared before the three of them. This was the special halo for entering the Holy Spirit's secret realm, connecting to the stable special passage leading into the Holy Spirit's secret realm. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.